Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines. Coverage of the 2022 Girls State Basketball Tournament is continuing as we get ready for Class 4A semifinal action. Semifinal number 1 will pit the Saints of Cedar Rapids Xavier going up against number 1 rated Dallas Center Grimes and the Mustangs. And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Des Moines. Scott Unesh alongside Mount Vernon girls basketball coach Nate Sanderson, bringing you the action as semifinal Thursday is underway here at the Girls State Tournament. We just witnessed in 3A, Ballard, who took out center point Urbana. They have advanced as they defeated number 2 rated West Lyon after number 1 Unity Christian was beaten earlier today as they were ousted by Esterville Lincoln Central. So those two teams will go at it for 3A, and we get ready for Class 4A as we start things off with the Saints and the Mustangs. Xavier got to this point with a win over Central DeWitt in the first round, and meanwhile it was Dallas Center Grimes knocking out Benton Community in a game that we had for you on Tuesday morning in their first round play. And Nate, both these teams got a game under their belts here at the state tournament. A few of the jitters are out, but you know, this is a big one because this is the one that gets you to the championship game.
Well, absolutely. You know, you come into the game, and as you mentioned, the second game here in the tournament, typically the nerves kind of settle down a little bit, both because you've been here once before and also coming into the game with a win. You know, you feel pretty confident on both sides of the ball, and it'll be an interesting matchup here today. Talking to Coach Lilly a little bit before the game here, I think he really wants to see Xavier get off to a good start. Of course, he saw Dallas Center Grimes, you know, jump out to that early lead against Benton, and just they're so tough when they can get out in front early like that. And I think Coach is going to try to extend some of that pressure that we saw in the opening round as well, and see how the Mustangs handle it early on.
He said specifically to me, he said, you know what, they've shot going into the tournament 563 pointers on the year. He goes, we, you know, in Tom Lilly East, we haven't shot 560 shots this year, so that's kind of the way it goes. But he said we got to go out and get them on the three-point line. We cannot let them sit out there. We cannot let them get comfortable.
Yeah, and you'll see them match up at man-to-man, of course, as we saw in the opener and as we've seen all season long. And when you put that kind of emphasis on, you know, running kids off the line, that does create just a little bit different dynamic for Dallas Center Grimes. And certainly they have guards that are capable of getting to the basket, but that also puts them in a situation where they're going to have to make some decisions and some traffic and be able to finish against some size. Obviously, Xavier's got some size inside a little bit, and so it'll be interesting to see how they adjust to that.
Coming your way in the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths pregame show as we get ready for Class 4A semifinal competition, as we got Xavier going up against Dallas Center Grimes. The other 4A semi will pit Glenwood and Sioux City Heelan. That will come up immediately following this one here, and then we'll get into classes tomorrow anyway. We'll get into classes 2A along with 1A. And, of course, we'll be back tomorrow for Northland and Algona Garrigan at 3 o'clock tomorrow right here on CRM Live Sports. And for Xavier, very balanced scoring in that first-round win against a good Central DeWitt team. And they never trailed in that game, but they were never really comfortable and confident, I guess, in that game. DeWitt didn't go away, to their credit, but according to the Saints, didn't play their best game, but they played a game good enough to advance. That's all it takes right now anyway, but they'd like to play a little bit better today, obviously.
Well, certainly this time of year, you know, one thing you tell your teams is the score doesn't matter, right? As long as you have at least one more points than your opponent. We saw that, of course, last night, Springville Northland, very close game there as well. It just matters that you score a little bit more and move on here. And I think for Xavier, you know, sometimes when you don't play your best, but you can still grind out a win, that can be building confidence as well, because obviously you know you can play at a higher level. You've got more potential than maybe what you showed in the first round. And if you can get to that level, which I think they will need to today against the Mustangs, you give yourself a chance.
It's a Dallas Center Grimes team, much like Xavier, very balanced scoring. Their top scorer is Emma Miner. And, of course, we saw her against Benton Community, hit those three-pointers in the first half. And she's a very good three-point shooter at 41%, heading to St. Thomas to play Division I basketball coming up in 2 years. She's only a junior. But then they've got a sophomore, Vanessa Bickford, from guard court, a very big guard at 5'10", and then off the bench they bring in Finley Fitzgerald, second leading scorer, And then Josie Lampy at 5'10", also another sophomore coming in. Xavier will be a little bit deeper, so it'll be interesting to see if Tom will just keep running fresh troops at Dallas Center Grimes today.
Well, I thought that was a significant part of the game in the quarterfinal, because the Xavier Saints played 9 players, and they rotated pretty liberally, at least through the first 3.5 quarters. And there was some plays late where Xavier was still able to execute their press and get some key turnovers, and perhaps keeping his players fresh in the second half here will be an advantage for the Saints.
Xavier led in scoring by Libby Fandel at 12.9 points a game. Had a very solid first-round game in her first game as a freshman. Really stuffed the stat sheet the other night, and they'd like to see her continue that scoring streak. And then, of course, Mary Kate Maynard coming off a very, very good performance. Off the bench, Lexi Turner came in, gave him some very, very good minutes, and it'll be interesting to see exactly what Xavier is going to do with Minor when she goes out on the perimeter, how they're going to guard. And Xavier's not going to venture out of their man-to-man. We know that.
Right. I would imagine, though, that Tom will try to be, consistent with that philosophy of getting her off the three-point line. And when we saw her drop a couple deep threes in the quarterfinal, and, again, even if you're giving up twos or you're forcing her into some traffic, make her make some plays off the bounce, again, she's certainly capable of doing that. But if you're going to get beat, sometimes you have the philosophy of, we're going to make you beat you 2 at a time instead of 3 at a time, and we'll see if the Saints are able to do that today.
Of course, Xavier, as we mentioned the other day, no stranger to being at the state tournament. This is the 14th appearance in Xavier history, all under Tom Lilly, who is eyeing win number 600. Is not going to come this year, but he's got 596. He would relish 597 here today, but it'll be early next year, and he is going to pick up his 600th victory. And by the way, congratulations to Dr. Tony Pappas, who got his 600th earlier on today, as Waterloo West won in their semifinal. They're moving on to the 5A championship against undefeated Johnston. That should be a good one, and that'll be coming up tomorrow night, and that will be at 6 o'clock here from Wells Fargo Arena. You don't have many conferences where you got 2 coaches that are going to have 600 wins, but the MVC is going to have that next year.
Well, yes, that conference has been loaded for a long time with great coaching all across the league, but obviously a couple institutions with Dr. Pappas and Coach Lilly.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens. It's an interesting thing because the first game here went over, so it's, you sit around, you're waiting for that first game ahead of yours to get done, and then all of a sudden it gets done, and then you get that signal, and you got to go. And, you got to keep your composure. You got to deal with that.
Well, a little different than their experience in the quarterfinal where they were ahead of schedule, and Xavier got about 25 minutes prior to the game. They could come out, shoot around a little bit, then grab the jump ropes and get into their regular routine. So, yeah, we'll see. Again, that a lot of whistles there in the last game. Certainly a close game. Both teams shooting some free throws down the stretch. So they've seen this before, obviously, at the Well, and excited for a good game here to follow.
Dallas Center Grimes, they were the champions of the Little Hawkeye Conference. Very good league. That league included Grinnell, who's going to be going to the WAMAC in a couple of years. They're rated #1 in the state, and they are seeded #1 as far as their trip to the state tournament, beating Boone, ADM, and then they went over Benton Community the other day. And for Cedar Rapids, Xavier, 3rd in the Valley Division of the Mississippi Valley Conference, beating Marion in that tough semifinal 59-52, ousting Keokuk, and then beating Central DeWitt in their first-round quarterfinal game the other day. We'll take a break, come back with more from Des Moines here on the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths pregame show on CRM Live Sports as we get ready for Xavier and DCG in a 4A state girls semifinal. Back to Des Moines after this here on CRM Live Sports.
Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths, your home never looks so beautiful. Plumbing fixtures, a great variety. Transform your home with Plum Supply. Our kitchen designs are amazing. Our service is priceless. Plum Supply, touch and see. Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths, your home never looks so beautiful.
Epiphany Dermatology is a full-service dermatology practice that treats all conditions of the skin, hair, and nails. Dr. John Woolner has been practicing and treating patients for over 30 years. Epiphany Dermatology has built a reputation based on reliable customer service and quality skin and hair loss treatments. Epiphany Dermatology also places a special emphasis on skin cancer prevention, screenings, and treatment. Call them to book an appointment at 363-9936 and visit their website at epiphanydermatology.com. Epiphany Dermatology, 5264 Council Street Northeast, Suite 700 in Cedar Rapids. At Hunt Graphic Innovations, it's the personal touch that counts. If you're serious about creating an eye-catching website or need assistance in graphic design for print, newsletters, posters, signs, or banners, Hunt Graphic Innovations has the experience to help get the job done. With personal attention and competitive pricing, discover the difference Hunt Graphic Innovations can make for you.
Back in Des Moines at the Girls State Basketball Tournament. Scott Udash and Nate Sanderson with you as both teams have gone back to their respective dressing rooms and locker rooms as the teams will get ready for their semifinal coming up in just a little bit. Back with you tomorrow afternoon. It'll be North Lynn in action against Algona Garrigan, and that'll be at 3 o'clock, scheduled for a 3 o'clock pregame here on CRMLiveSports.com and CRM Live Sports on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. You got the game plan helped out with, ready to go?
Well, we've been working on it. We were up late last night and then spent most of the day watching Audie Crooks catch the ball by the basket and lay it in. So we'll see what Coach Wheatley and the staff, KG, can come up with here to at least make life difficult for her. Obviously, you're not going to be able to stop her with her size inside, but you can make her struggle a little bit, and then we're just going to try to make some other players score. So we'll see how it goes, but I think North Lynn feels good about playing at the offensive end. They play a lot of zone. Northland's seen a lot of zone all year long and have been shooting it pretty good. So the matchup will be interesting, and the Lynx certainly excited to have another opportunity here to play down at the Well.
That'll be coming up tomorrow. North Lynn in action against Algona Garrigan. But Xavier and Dallas Center Grimes going at it as the Saints get ready to try to pick up win number 19. And we talked about all year, it's not a new concept or anything like that, but Xavier running through the gauntlet of 5A teams as far as the MVC is concerned. But when you take a look at Dallas Center Grimes, they've also played a very, very tough schedule, not only in a very good Little Hawkeye Conference, but they've also picked up some teams. Des Moines Christian, a very good 3A team. They took care of them. Didn't play any CIML teams this year. They usually get a couple of those as far as their schedule is concerned, but not able to do that this year. And maybe with the CIML losing some teams next year, I think they'll probably be able to pick some of them up. And I'm hoping anyway the MVC can pick some of the Des Moines suburban teams up next year, because that will help both leagues.
Yeah, for sure. And, it's one of the things I think that's difficult for the state at the end of the year when they're trying to seed, get the rankings right, is that when there's not a lot of crossover between some of these better leagues in the state. It's just difficult to know, how they would match up. And you see, obviously, an MVC CIML state championship game in 5A coming up tomorrow night. And wouldn't it be nice to do a CIML MVC challenge, kind of like ACC Big Ten?
I think it would be fun. I really do.
You could alternate sides of the state and play that sometime in November around Thanksgiving maybe, or December. And I think things like that would be good for the game, for sure.
Of course, the MVC teams are going to be looking for a extra non-conference game next year with Waterloo East moving to the Iowa Alliance Conference. So maybe we'll see a few more Eastern Iowa, Central Iowa matchups as we get into 2022-2023. But we've got this semifinal to get underway here in just a little bit, and we'll get you the lineups coming up in just a moment. And start is so key down here. Waterloo West went out 16-2 today and never trailed in that game. Especially when you get down to state, you know that as well as anybody. You just cannot get in a big hole early on.
Yeah, and I think talking again, Coach Lilly just wants to let DCG know that we're going to be around. And again, it's just hard to chase the game against a good team if you do find yourself in a hole there. And so if they can create the tempo that they want, maybe turn the Mustangs over a couple of times early and just make them feel like, all right, Xavier's here to stay. You're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to make some plays, and you just never know when doubt might start to creep into that number one seed. And when a team that's maybe not predicted to beat you is right there at the end, that can be a little bit of different mental challenge as well.
Let's go ahead and set our starting lineups for this evening's ball game. And our lineups are brought to you by Dan Hillers, the home loan expert. Check them out online at danhillersthehomeloanexpert.com. And also stop on by at their office in downtown Cedar Rapids. For the visiting Saints, Cedar Rapids Xavier, 18-6 on the year. Number 5 rated in Class 4A. They are the number 4 seed. Making their 14th appearance. They've won 4 state championships all told under Coach Tom Lilly, which puts him second all-time in the state of Iowa. They will go with the same starting lineup. It'll be Libby Fandel at forward. The 6-foot freshman leads Xavier, 12.9 points, 5 rebounds a game, 43% from three-point range, 2 assists, and about 2.5 steals per game. Maddie Stager will be at 1 forward as well, 5'10" and a senior. Stager at 5.9 points and just under 4 rebounds per game. Maya Carl will be in the middle, number 10, 5'11" and a senior. Carl, terrific defender, averaging 2 points, good rebounder as well at about 5.5 rebounds per contest. And the guards will be Lexi Byer, number 15, the 5'8" senior. Byer at 7.7 points a game. Streaky three-pointer shooter, 39%. And when she gets it going, she can get it going. And 2 assists a game. And Mary Kate Mader, the 5'7" senior, number 30. Mader, the heartbeat of this team, 6.3 points and 3.5 rebounds per game. The head coach for the Xavier Saints is Tom Lilly. Now the starters for the Dallas Center Grimes Mustangs, the champions of the Little Hawkeye Conference. They come in with a record of 21-3. They're rated number 1, and they are seeded number 1 in the 4A tournament. They will go with basically 4 guards and forward. Ellie Nelson at 1 guard, number 42. She is a 5'6" senior. Nelson at 3.8 points a game, pulls down 3 rebounds per contest as well. Avery Korshing at a guard, number 4, 5'5" and a senior. Korshing, 5.4 points, 2.5 rebounds, almost 3 assists, and a couple of steals a game. Also in a guard, it'll be Vanessa Bickford, a 5'10" sophomore, number 12. Bickford, 7.3 points, 3.5 boards per game, 39% from three-point range. And the 4th guard will be number 34, Ella Lampe. She is a 5'8" senior. Lampe at 5.2 points, 4 rebounds a game, 2.5 assists as well. And Emma Miner up front, 6-foot junior. Doesn't play a lot inside. She will go on the perimeter. Miner leads DCG in scoring at 13.8 points, 4.2 rebounds a game, and shoots 41% from 3. The head coach for Dallas Center Grimes is Adam Jones. So those are your starting lineups for this one here tonight. I think we can call it tonight, right? It's after 5 o'clock. The early bird is over for some folks, so welcome into basketball tonight, right?
That's right. From this vantage point, we can't tell if the sun's up or down either way. So
it's halfway. It's halfway right there. But those are your starters. We'll take a break, come back, and have the opening tip-off from Des Moines for you right after this here on CRM Live Sports.
Hi, I'm Dan Hillers, the home loan expert. One of the most popular loans that we're doing right now is the cash out refinance. Think about it. Your home's value is at an all-time high, interest rates are near all-time lows. You can use that equity to pay off your credit cards, to do home remodels, or you could go on a nice vacation. See how I can help you today at hillershomeloans.com.
Spinal Corrective Center, 3800 River Ridge Drive, Northeast in Cedar Rapids. Dr. Gene Kretzinger and Dr. Janet Kuehl deliver state-of-the-art chiropractic care for the entire family. If you want to reach optimum health and peak performance levels, or are suffering from injury, pain, and other health problems, the chiropractic care they provide can give you relief and stability. Serving our area athletes for over 50 years and keeping athletes of all ages functioning at their highest performance for a winning game. Spinal Corrective Center, online at spinalcc.com.
Starters being introduced, and our first half of action will be brought to you by Spinal Corrective Center. They're located on River Ridge Drive, Northeast in Cedar Rapids. Thanks to Drs. Kuehl and Kretzinger and the entire staff there. And you can find them, as I mentioned, on River Ridge Drive, Northeast in Cedar Rapids, and online at spinalcc.com. Some of the keys, Nate, to this semifinal 4A you're looking for.
Well, as you mentioned, we'll see which team can get off to the early start, if it's going to be close through the first quarter, if one or the other can get ahead and feel comfortable and make the other team chase the game. I think how Dallas Center Grind shoots the ball, and when you look at their percentage, they're 36-37% from three. They've got 7 different players on their roster that have made at least 23s on the year. So we'll see how the strategy of trying to get them off the line, and then if you can do that and force them to take contested twos, then you got to be able to rebound the basketball. And then I think finally, Xavier's going to try to use that same game plan they used in the quarterfinal. They'll extend some full court pressure and just see if they can get some turnovers to get some easy run out baskets. And if Dallas Center Grimes struggles with that, I think that's a good sign for the Saints early.
Tom Lilly going out on the court and picking up some object, showing it to the student section behind us here. We got the Xavier folks behind us today, and that's Tom. He's very mild-mannered. He's got his little intricacies he goes through, so he is ready to go. Xavier in the navy blue uniforms, white numbers, white letters trimmed in silver. DCG in the home white with the red and the silver trim. Our officials, as assigned by the Girls High School Athletic Union, are James Crozier, Scott Giles, and Chris Lynch, as we are underway in 4A with the semifinal, and the tip controlled by the Xavier Saints. And we're underway. Xavier will go to the basket opposite us to the left as we come your way courtside here at Wells Fargo. DCG will pick him up man-to-man. Byer gets it up top. Stager back to Byer, 2-person game. Work it up top to Fandel. Fandel is going to have Lampy on her, on the fake, on the drive. Stager on the right block, and they're going to get her for a charge.
Now, she came off the right wing there with the left-handed dribble to the middle of the floor, tried to counter back with a spin move, and the help side defender just snuck right underneath her. She was definitely set, and I don't think that Stager saw her coming and ran her over.
Well, Xavier's going to put on the pressure. Little diamond in one. Full court man pressure, and the ball is kicked by Stager in the backcourt. This is, I think this is going to be real big key is how DCG handles this.
Well, for sure, DCG likes to run. They like to play fast here, but do they like to play fast under pressure? I think that's what we'll find out.
Almost a turnover, but they break the pressure to Minor. She'll circle it in the front court as Xavier will pick him up in the man. It's going to be Stager on Minor to start things off.
And that matchup makes sense with Stager's length right there that she can contest and potentially make it hard for her to catch inside as well.
Bickford gets it to Minor. Jab step a couple times. They cleared out for her. Turns down the shot. Gets it to Lampy with MK Mater on her. Here's Korshing out front. Korshing on a fake drive. Gets it to Minor. She'll back it up. She'll launch the three. Missed it badly. Maya Carl, the rebound for the Xavier Saints.
Now, once again, you see teams not guarding on the perimeter. Nelson right there. Carl just hanging out in the lane and able to scoop up that rebound.
Fandel, standing right-hand dribble, gives it up to Byer now in the wing. She'll come left with the dribble to Maddie Stager on the ball fake. Drives on Minor. We're underway, a minute and a half into the ball game. Stager on the give and go, low pass off the leg of Mater. We're going to end up with a jump.
Well, interesting there, Dallas Center Grimes switching all screens, it looks like defensively, and so Xavier puts him in a screen and roll there to try to generate a mismatch on the roll of the basket. They had a good matchup there, but just couldn't quite make the completion.
No score as DCG trying to get it in, and they just do, and the ball tipped and almost picked out of there by Fandel. DCG on the run, driving a kick to Nelson in the corner, and they are going to give her that shot. Minor beyond the NBA arc. They reverse it over now to Bickford. They'll drop it inside. Minor doubled to Nelson for three. Missed it off the right side, but it's chased down in the near corner as getting it was Korshing. And DCG with another crack at it. Bickford on the drive. Nice drop-off pass. Layup good by Nelson.
Nice drive to the baseline right there. Brought the second defender over, and she just kind of jumped out of bounds. Steve Nash used to do that all the time for the Suns and throw it back in to the weak side block for the layup.
There's a little half-court pressure put on by DCG. Broken by Xavier. Now Fandel takes it into the lane. Back out to Mater for three, and she hits left of the circle.
Nice job by Fandel there, driving it right into the heart of the lane to draw the defense away and then kicks it right back out.
And a steal and a layup by Xavier. As Libby Fandel read the pass beautifully and laid it up and in, and it's A 5-2 St. Lane. Lampy, no look, bounce pass to Nelson, and bumped and fouled by Carl after a nice head shoulder fake.
Now that was the one concern from Coach Lilly. If they did try to exploit the back end of that full court press, and right there, Dallas Center Grimes just threw it right back into Ella Lampy, the inbounder. She went the length of the floor and then dropped it off there to Ellie Lampy on the block, and she got fouled and is now shooting 2.
First one no good. 5-2 Xavier lead here in the early going. Nelson on the line, 72%, gets 1 out of 2. And it's a 5-3 game. Here comes the DCG pressure, the 1-2-2 3/4 court.
Just trying to slow the Saints down a little bit here, make them handle it a little bit, and try to trap on the side.
Mater circles it into the far corner, picks it up. Miner coming out on her, spinning, and finally got out of there to Fandel. Libby goes crossover on the drive, all the way in, off balance. Runner good down the right side of the lane for Fandel.
Really tough shot right there. Crossed her over on the right slot, went downhill. Miner came over to contest it, which really made Fandel take a difficult angle and still able to make it off the glass.
7-3, Xavier out in front. This 4A semifinal. Bickford guarded by Mater, comes off the ball screen. She'll drive down the lane, too strong off the glass, but the rebound chased down by Nelson.
A couple loose ball rebounds now for the Mustangs. That could be key here as the game goes on.
Bickford off the screen, corner 3, no good, and over the back on Miner.
Well, we saw this the other night. Miner got an early one in the quarterfinal against Benton in the first couple of minutes, and then played through the rest of the half without picking up a second one. We'll see here if she can do the same thing tonight.
Xavier will go to the bench. Lexi Turner will check in for the Saints, and Kyla Mason coming in for Xavier. And it'll be the Saints to inbound. 7-3 lead for Xavier. Coming up on 4:10 to play here in the game's first quarter. As the Saints work against that 3/4 court pressure. They break it with ease with Fandel to Turner. Turner, stutter dribble coming left to Mason. Comes off the ball screen, reverses it to Fandel. Right back inside to Mason. Turnaround shot, no, left it short. Miner got the rebound.
You see early on, the Saints are not shying away from taking Miner to the basket there and trying to attack her.
Miner going to attack Mason. Layup no good. Rebounded out front by Turner. Saints in transition, 3-on-3. Driving a kick to Fandel. In transition, the three-pointer won't go. Rebound Lampy. DCG the other way on the run. Lampy all the way in, and a charging foul. Ran over Mater.
Great job there by Mary Kay Mater. She was able to get on the driving line there in transition, turned around, parked herself on the second hash mark above the block on the right side there, and just took the contact, tucked her chin so she didn't bonk her head on the deck there, and the Saints will go the other way.
Like Xavier getting fresh troops in early, get a chance to get acclimated to a semifinal, and there's a bump out front, and that's on Finley Fitzgerald, the 6th player for DCG who just came in, and she picks up the foul.
Well, Fitzgerald had a great game in the quarterfinal. She averages 8 points a game, gives them a boost off the bench, and they're just a little bit too aggressive trying to reach in on the crossover dribble.
Emma Arnold in, Riley Yonker in, Mason, Fandel, and Turner in right now for the Saints. And Xavier with a 4-point lead over halfway. Dump down low. Arnold posting up to Yonker. Little 15-footer, left it short. Mason, the offensive rebound. Hook put back good off the window.
Yeah, nice shot there by Mason. Crashed the board from the backside, spun back to the middle, and laid it in.
9-3, Saints by 6. DCG breaking the pressure, and the pass out front. Mason nearly came up with the steal, but had the toe on the line.
Maybe a half-size smaller shoe there, and she might have been all right, but the official was all over that one. She just touched the black line there on the side.
Josie Lampy into the ball game now for DCG. Josie Lampy, 5'10" and a sophomore, averaging about 3.5 points off the bench. Bickford out front for the Mustangs. Ella Lampy, Miners, they work the perimeter to Fitzgerald. Now Josie Lampy, ooh, they had Miner inside. She wants it too. Out front, Fitzgerald a 3, missed it. Miner got the offensive rebound though. And she'll step back, turn, fire the 3, and got it.
Well, you see the confidence of Miner there. You're right, they ran that dribble weave and the back screen to bring her back to the ball side on the block. Missed her. She got the offensive rebound, just dribbled it straight back to the 3-point line and knocked it down.
She has no fear. 9-6 lead for the Saints, 2:25 to play. Opening quarter here from Des Moines and the Girls State Basketball Tournament. Turner outside the arc, guarded by Fitzgerald. Little shake and bake move. Driving a kick to Byer for three. Missed it. Rebound back tap to Arnold. Saints will get another crack at it. The force pass inside is stolen away.
Well, nice job by Yonker there to back tap the rebound. She couldn't grab it with two hands, so she just knocked it out, and the Saints got a second chance.
Josie Lampy takes it inside, missed it. And we've got a tied ball on the rebound. And it's going to go to Xavier.
Once again, Yonker in the mix there on the boards. Again, couldn't quite secure the ball, but caused the jump, and the Saints will go the other way here.
Kayla Reese into the ball game, 5'7", and a sophomore. And she averages 6.3 points off the DCG bench.
They got a lot of players that can score. There's no question about that.
Play about 8. As Xavier with the basketball, 9-6 lead, a minute 45 to play here in the game's first quarter, and they got Arnold on a walk.
Yeah, tough one right there. Arnold was coming out from underneath on the baseline and just didn't quite have her feet set when she caught the ball. Took an extra step there before she put it down, and Dallas Center Grimes will throw it in on the side right in front of their bench.
And what do we got here? Oh, Sydney Huber's coming in, but did not check in properly.
They are fanatical about going to the exact spot that you need to go to check in.
So Huber in, the freshman, 9-6. As DCG down 3, will walk it up with Bickford. It's going to be Huber on her. And they get into the offense. Reese on the fake, up top, near steal by Yonker. They get it to Fitzgerald, though, on the wing. Guarded by Mary-Kate Mader. Man-to-man. Behind the screen, Fitzgerald 3 short. Or Reese 3 short. Rebound to Byer. Got to get Lexi going. Had those 2 first quarter threes against DeWitt, and then went silent after that. Huber crossover dribble out front. Yonker works the perimeter. So we come up on a minute to play here in the first quarter. Mader outside the arc. Takes the left free throw line, steps back, can't get the shot off. Now to Maddie Steger, who's back into the ball game. Xavier being patient.
They're just running some motion offense here, cutting players to the basket, a couple screen away plays here, looking for an opportunity to drive it. And Dallas Center Grimes just doing a great job staying in front, contesting everything.
Force pass inside, going to go out of bounds, and the officials are going to deliberate. They're going to keep it with Xavier.
I think that's the right call there. Dallas Center Grimes jumped in front of the post entry pass, got a deflection. Both players went after it, and it looked from here, and we always have the best angle, right, Scott, that they got the call right.
Always have the best angle. 9-6 lead, 39.5 to play. Saints with the basketball. Sydney Huber goes behind the back with it, guarded by Korshing, picks it up, has to bounce it to Byer at the hash. And I think Xavier's going to go for the last shot now. Maya Carl back into the ball game, sets a screen for Huber. Picks it up. And we're down to 17 seconds. Byer goes baseline, behind the back with a dribble. Now on the drive, leaner short. And the offensive rebound, Maya Carl. Oh, putback won't go. Byer got it back and got tied up by Korshing.
That's actually not a bad result there for Xavier. Lexi took a tough shot in the lane there, maybe a little bit early for the left-handed leaner, but the Saints kept it alive, now taking the arrow back here from Dallas Center Grimes, so Xavier will start with it in the second quarter. Just 8 seconds on the clock here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and Xavier will employ full court pressure. Fitzgerald, long pass up ahead to Korshing. They got 3 on 2. Out to Lampy, open three-pointer, good at the horn. Josie Lampy with the triple to end the first quarter of play. And after one here in this 4A Girls State semifinal at the Girls State Tournament, it's Xavier 9, Dallas Center Grimes 9. Back after this on CRM Live Sports.
Cedar Rapids Millwork, providing outstanding service to Eastern Iowa for over 50 years. Quality products, including windows, doors, moldings, hardware, stair parts, specialties, and cabinets. Locally owned and operated, Cedar Rapids Millwork has in-house production, providing innovative quality services for contractors and their customers of the corridor. Cedar Rapids Millwork, 1950 Progress Drive in Hiawatha, and online at cedarrapidsmillwork.com. No matter where you are in life, Hills Bank is here to help you succeed. Whether you're buying your first house, saving for your child's future, or preparing for retirement, you can count on the people at Hills Bank for the support you need to reach your goals. It's easy to connect with a banker over the phone or on hillsbank.com, because we believe banking is better through human connection. Hills Bank is an equal housing lender and FDIC member.
Great to have you back with us here in Des Moines. Shooting percentages after one quarter in this 9-9 game. Xavier 40%. Dallas Center Grimes at 27%, but DCG has hit 2 3-pointers in that first quarter, including the buzzer beater.
Well, and even though the game is tied and you give up that 3-pointer right there at the end of the half, or excuse me, the quarter, you got to feel pretty good about the start for Xavier. Led most of the quarter here. They've generated some good shots. DCG has struggled at times with the pressure, so a lot of things that the Saints can build on here in the second quarter.
Bullet pass inside. Mary-Kate Mader spins into the corner as they work the triangle right. Lob down low, but too tall for Steger. And out of there with it comes Reese.
Well, one thing you'd like to maybe see here if you're Xavier, if Dallas Center Grimes is going to switch all screens, you can maybe manipulate that to get a good matchup here on the offense.
Boy, a nice move down the left baseline by Finley Fitzgerald. Off balance and high off the glass and good.
Yeah, baseline drive there, just enough, as you said, high off the glass to get the roll.
11-9, first lead for DCG. Backdoor look to Mader, and she answers with 2.
Nice job there, driving to the middle of the lane. Mader read it, cut behind her defender, was rotating over to help, and finished right at the rim.
11-11 ball game. Xavier with Byer in there, Steger, Fandel, Carl, and Mader. So back to the starting 5. Korshing, Fitzgerald, Nelson back in, Reese, and Ella Lampy. Dangerous pass out front. Near travel there by Korshing. Turns the corner, drives, gets it to Lampy. Circles into the lane, back to Reese. Far wing 3-pointer, too strong. Chases on, and Hansen got it. Goes back door to Fitzgerald and got fouled. And that's a good foul by Mader because that was the layup.
Now Mader hustling over from the weak side right there to contest that layup and knock Fitzgerald to the ground. Interesting lineup here for Dallas Center Grimes. We see Bickford and Minor coming back in here, just taking the first 15 seconds to get a little extended breather there, but their offense is certainly a lot different when both of them are off the floor.
Fitzgerald only a 59% foul shooter and misses the first, comes up short. Our first half brought to you by Spinal Corrective Center. Check them out online at spinalcc.com and River Ridge Drive Northeast in Cedar Rapids. One more on the way. That one's good. 12-11 DCG.
Another substitution in here for Dallas Center Grimes. Looks like they are back to their starting lineup as well.
As they'll bring Minor and Bickford back in, those big two. 6:38 to play here in the opening half. Steger in the high post. Drove on Nelson, kicks it out to Mader. Comes off the Carl screen up top. Minor jumps out on her. Fandel, who got 2 early buckets, goes behind the back, almost had it knocked away on a double. It bounces it over to Steger. Steger on the fake. She'll go baseline, cut off by the double, now to Carl. As the Saints being selective here. Lob down low. Maddie Steger tried to go backdoor and intercepted nicely by DCG.
Well, you like the idea there. They hit the screen and roll. Steger rolled down to the post. They made a nice entry pass, and then the dive from the top. She just couldn't quite make the completion.
Got a feeling that DCG read that play on the film. Because Minor was right there. Mustangs by 1 with the basketball. Right in front of us. Korshing holds it on Fandel. They'll bounce it up high. Minor had to go catch it. Now Minor will step back. Good defense there by Steger. They'll dump it inside, and ooh, a double dribble.
A little bit of contact there from Maya Carl, who came up to contest that entry to the high post. Kind of bumped her a little bit with her hip. Thought maybe they were going to get a foul there, but instead it knocked her off balance a little bit and caused a double dribble.
The many folks from the northwest suburbs did not enjoy that call. Of course, Dallas Center Grimes, one of the bigger growing communities in the state of Iowa. I think they're in the top 5 right now. And they're going to be a 5A school before long.
One of the fun things about the state tournament semifinals is the crowds do tend to get larger and the student section's a little louder.
Fandel came up short on the 3. It's out of bounds to Dallas Center Grimes. As DCG with the basketball against the Xavier pressure. 12-11. Looking, and Lampy will throw it to Minor out deep. Again, great to have that 6-foot safety valve.
Yeah, that's for sure.
On the drive, all the way through traffic. Bickford too strong, but Lampy got it. Kicks it out for a 3. That's no good. Rebound again, this time by Fandel. Looked like Minor had it. Fandel up ahead, finds Mason, fakes, shoots, missed it. Too strong off the glass, and a foul on Xavier.
Boy, that was quite a sequence right there at the defensive end. Miner looked like she was going to grab it and put it back in. Fandel ripped it right out of her hands, threw it the length of the floor. Mason found herself all alone at the backboard on the right block, and just almost looked like a helium balloon. Maybe it slipped out of her hand there, a little bit too strong off the glass. And then a big pile up underneath. 3 bodies go down, and the Xavier Saints pick up the foul, their 4th here of the half.
And Maya Carl gets her 2nd. Full court pressure, 12-11. We've been stuck on this score for a while. Here's Bickford. Brings across the timeline, cross court, Korshing to Miner. Got a mismatch against Bayer as Lexi's going to switch over now and pick up Korshing. 1-point lead, and Bickford had it stolen by Emma Arnold.
A great job there by Arnold. Just the active hands. Bickford was trying to set up a screen, and she just picked her pocket.
Mader fakes. Mader on the drive. Offensive foul.
Well, that is consistent with what we've seen so far in this game. Mader took an offensive foul earlier there in the first quarter. Same thing here, driving to the baseline. Just couldn't stop her momentum before she crashed into that help side defender who was set, and I believe, Scott, was outside the restricted circle.
Yes and yes. Well, we're going to get a timeout. Going to be a 30-second timeout taken by Dallas Center Grimes. 4:26 to play in the opening half. 12-11. Mustangs on top. We'll be back right after this here on CRM Live Sports.
American Family Insurance agent Kurt Gustafson is committed to inspiring and protecting dreams right here in Cedar Rapids and the surrounding area. He starts by getting to know you and your needs and build a free auto, home, or life insurance quote. By bundling policies, we can often offer a variety of discounts. Whether you're purchasing a car, buying property, managing an investment property, starting a small business, or leaving behind a legacy, we've got your back as you pursue your dreams, and we'll help protect them. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. See Kurt Gustafson Agency of American Family Insurance on Johnson Avenue Southwest, right across from the Johnson Avenue Hy-Vee for more details.
Thanks to Kurt Gustafson on Johnson Avenue Northwest. And your American Family Insurance agent. 4:20 to play, full court pressure and a steal. Fandel had it thrown right toward Armold. Step back 3 won't go, and the weak side board out of there to DCG.
Great read by Fandel to jump into that passing lane. Arnold had a clean look and just left it short.
Miners 3 won't go. Rebounded by Kyla Mason. Here comes Xavier. Lexi Turner back into the game. Mason in there and Arnold. Turner goes behind the back to Fandel. As Xavier going with a lot of bench folks right now. Yonker also into the ball game. Arnold to the corner. Fandel on the fake. It's over. Fitzgerald stripped it, took it away, and then they got Libby, I think, trying to get it back on a foul.
Boy, that's interesting there. Fitzgerald very aggressive going after the ball. Kind of threw her forearm out there to knock Fandel back, grabbed the ball, went down to one knee, thought maybe there might be a travel there, but they called Fandel reaching in once Fitzgerald recovered.
It's only the 16th foul, though. And no free throws yet. There's Yonker this time, I should say, that right there in the passing lane.
A nice job from Yonker there from the second level, just coming up, and we see a little bit more of a man-to-man type matchup here out of the Saints here on the full court press.
12-11, Dallas Center Grimes on top. They got a trap, and Lampy had to throw it off one of the Saints' legs. And they'll try it for a 3rd time to get it inbound.
Well, one thing about this Saints defense here, a lot of players out there, 5'10" and bigger. Those long arms make those traps difficult to throw out of.
Both Lampy's in there, Miner, Fitzgerald, and Bickford. Bickford's got it. Gonna drive in and got fouled from behind off the nice head and shoulder fake underneath.
Yeah, nice job there. Bickford catching it up the sideline, saw a clear path to the basket. She landed on 2 feet. Anytime you anticipate any contact, you try to tell your players to go off of 2 feet. Showed the little ball fake, and Russ Millard there by the basket and went up and drew the foul.
Free throw up and good. I was thinking Kevin Boyle, but you can go both ways with that.
There were quite a few Hawkeyes that were good at the ball fake around the rim there.
Bickford gets the first free throw. That's the first point for the 5'10" sophomore. She's an 80% foul shooter. And as I say that, misses the second one, tipped out of bounds. It'll be Xavier ball. Low scoring affair, 13-11. Both these teams averaging mid-50s as far as their point totals during the season is concerned.
Well, just looking at the numbers here, it's been almost 8 minutes since the Saints have scored a field goal. Long drought here where we've been stuck at 11.
DCG with only 3 team fouls so far. here in the first 13 minutes of the ball game. 3:15 to play first half. Coming off the screen, Fandel to Byers back in. Yonker, Kyla Mason, and Lexi Turner also in there for the Saints. Yeah, there's a double dribble. Yep, on Byer.
Well, Bickford deserves a lot of credit for that. DCG is kind of mixed up the way they're covering ball screens there. Bickford jumped out the hedge really hard early behind that screen, kind of surprised Byer. And as she was pulling her dribble back, she just caught it with the second hand, and the officials saw it and blew the whistle.
Thought she might get away with it for a moment. Minor trap, got out of there. Now they've got numbers to the corner. Josie Lampe, three-pointer. That's short, and rebound underneath by Byer. Saints in a hurry. Down by 2. Byer with a left hand. Power dribble, gets it up ahead to Fandel. Takes the free throw line. Now back to Yonker. Yonker going to spin in. Back to Libby. Couple of fakes on Fitzgerald. Here's Byer setting it up now with 2:38. Doing a good job, Fitzgerald is on Fandel. Turner, stop and go. Takes a free throw line. Gets it to Fandel. Off the fake and a drive, and they got Mason for traveling.
Now, once again, that first step footwork. I hate to see those ticky-tack calls. I'm sure she probably did maybe slide that pivot foot, but no advantage gained there. Unfortunate break there for the Saints.
10-5 in turnovers. Xavier already with 10. As Mason will come out, Maddie Stager back in. For Xavier and Tom Lilly. Bickford trapped. Gets it back out of there in front of the DCG bench. Now we'll put it ahead. As Arnold will get ready to come in at the next dead ball for Xavier. Mustangs by 2. They've got Minor down on the block again, and boy, she's open. And now she gets it, and she's going to be going for traveling. Hey, they're consistent with it.
Well, that they are. As you mentioned, Minor coming across the block there, a little cross screen action. They had her wide open for a second, and as she went to spin to the basket, just took an extra step.
13-11, DCG out on top of this one. Fandel way at the left point up top. Hooks the pass inside to a cutting Arnold. Off balance shot, no good. We got a foul on Xavier on the rebound.
Well, Arnold, again, making a backdoor cut. We saw Mater make one of those earlier for a layup. She caught the ball going to the basket and just bounced off of a Mustang defender in there. Lost control of the ball a little bit, and then on the scramble for the rebound, the Saints called for the over the back.
It's a good shot. It's a good look. I think it's just being rushed a little bit.
Well, you'd like to come down on 2 feet there, maybe square your shoulders or get your inside shoulder into the defender before you go up. I think she was just going so fast, and the pass led her right to the rim that she couldn't gather herself when the help came over.
Free throw 1 and 1 is good by Vanessa Bickford. Her second point. She'll have one more. 14-11 DCG, 1:48 to play. Here in the first half, Ben Rudder Sportswear halftime show coming up during the break. And second one in and out. Carl rebound and had it taken away. And now who's going to get it? It's going to be DCG ball.
Frustrating moment there. Carl and botched the exchange a little bit, trying to get the ball to Steger, it looked like. And right there, 34 getting in the mix. Ella Lampe kind of getting a deflection and went off of Carl's foot. DCG maintains possession.
Minor sets up Lampe. Up top, Reese back into the ball game now for the last 95 seconds. DCG by 3. Lampe on the fake. Drive out to Minor, and it goes through her hands out of bounds. She was trying to shoot that before she caught it.
Well, you don't see that very often. She had a wide open look right in front of the Xavier bench right there, and the ball just went right through her hands and into the lap of Aaliyah Byer,
who was ready for it. I tell you, Aaliyah's going to be a player too in the next couple of years. Only a freshman for Xavier. Saints down by 3. They've only scored 2 points here in the second quarter. Arnold, stutter dribble coming right. Leaves it for Carl in there with 2 fouls to Fandel with 1:11. Fandel hooks it back to Carl. On the drive, she got doubled. Pass to the corner tip. Comes down, Stager drives, left it short off the window. And the rebound to Korshing coming the other way in a hurry for DCG. She'll yo it out, gets it inside. Fitzgerald fumbled it, put it up, and was fouled.
Well, that was a bit of a curious sequence right there. Fitzgerald did a nice job cutting from the backside, and she caught the basketball. It looked like she might have taken an extra step.
She did.
Drop step to the middle and then forward pivot around it. And typically, if you don't dribble with that move, you are traveling, but official didn't see it that way, and she drew the contact. She'll go to the line here for 2.
Carl got her third as well as a free throw, a line driver short.
And once again, you mentioned Fitzgerald has had her struggles at the line this year, now 1 for 3 on the evening.
Kyla Mason back in for Xavier, the junior. 14-11 DCG, and second one is good. 2 out of 4. 4 points on the evening for Finley Fitzgerald.
Bickford checks back into the game here for DCG with 54 seconds left in the first half.
15-11 lead for Dallas Center Grimes. And Xavier with the basketball with 45 left here in the first half. Vandell takes the right free throw line to Byer. Xavier's guards have been quiet so far. Arnold down the lane, running scoop, no good. As the Saint hits the deck, and here comes Reese out of there with it and almost went over and back.
Tough shot there from Arnold. She thought she maybe had an angle there, but when she gathered the ball, she was about 6 feet away from the basket rather than right at the rim, and just barely left it short.
Mater on the bench with her 2 fouls. Carl on the bench with 3 fouls. And DCG has only committed 3. 14 seconds. Korshing out front with the 5-second count on. Now drives off a nice crossover dribble. Layup too strong, no good. Mason the rebound. Got time. 4 seconds, and then had it taken away by Lampy with 2. Lampy from half court. Off the window, no good. At the end of the first half of play. Score at the break. Dallas Center Grimes 15, Cedar Rapids Xavier 11. We'll come back with the Ben Ritter Sportswear halftime show for you right after this, as you're listening to coverage of the Girls State Basketball Tournament here on CRM Live Sports.
Looking for a family-owned, friendly experience when you need dental care? You will find it at the Dental Center. The Dental Center has been caring for patients in the corridor for over 50 years. Doctors Chris, Jenna, and Kyle Hangeman, Brad Stovey, and Shannon Hinks provide dental care for the entire family from age 3 through 103. Patients have dental anxiety, and they are very experienced in making them feel comforted and cared during their visit. Because at the Dental Center, patients are more than patients. They are part of our Dental Center family. The Dental Center, with 2 convenient locations in Southeast Cedar Rapids on Mount Vernon Road and Hiawatha. Quality, comfortable care. First Federal Credit Union has been helping homeowners for almost a century. Options are crucial when it comes to a first-time home purchase, mortgage refinancing, or a bill consolidation loan. Being able to select the absolute best loan for your situation can literally save you thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an experienced homeowner, First Federal Credit Union will work to find the solution that is right for you. Learn more at firstfedcu.com. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Ben Ritter Sportswear in Cedar Rapids is your complete apparel and headwear provider. Ben Ritter is your one-stop store for screen print and embroidery for polos, t-shirts, hats, and more for any age from newborn to adults. Need screen printing or embroidery for your company or a special event? Ben Ritter is the answer, as they work with local teams, clubs, organizations, and businesses from startup to finish to provide the look that you need with exceptional turnaround time. Ben Ritter is also the local apparel supplier for the Cedar Rapids Colonels and Rough Riders. Ben Ritter Sportswear, 817 2nd Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids. Call them at 364-3479 and visit them online at benritter.com.
Back at the Girls State Basketball Tournament at halftime on the Ben Ritter Sportswear Halftime Show. Brought to you by Ben Ritter on 2nd Avenue in Cedar Rapids. Scott Unash, Coach Nate Sanderson with you, and an offensive Picasso this is not so far, but hey, it's only been 1 half, right?
Well, it doesn't really matter if you're down 36-32 or 15-11 at half. I think the Saints are probably happy to be within 4 here going into the second half, and really both defenses deserve a lot of credit. Neither team shooting it very well from the field in the first half. Xavier just 5 of 17, 29%. Dallas Center Grimes 4 of 18, 22%. So neither team lighting it up, and sometimes Coach Lilly playing a lot of kids there. 10 players got into play some minutes, and not just 30 seconds at a time, but played significant minutes in the first half. It can be difficult to find a rhythm when you get a lot of substitutions that way, but as we talked about at the beginning of the game, keeping your best players fresh in the second half is probably key, and we'll see what kind of adjustments they can make here to try to combat this Dallas Center Grimes man-to-man defense.
Take a look at the scoring in the first half. This will not take long. For Dallas Center Grimes, they're led by Finley Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald with 4, 1 field goal, and 2 out of 4 from the free throw line. 3 apiece for Emma Miner and Ellie Nelson, and then 2 on free throws from Vanessa Bickford. For the Xavier Saints, Mary Kate Maynard leading the way with 5 points in the first half. Libby Fandel has 4, and those came very early in the game. And Kyla Mason off the bench with 2. 4-2 right now as far as the bench scoring is concerned here in the ball game. As we get the official statistics from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Points in the paint, Xavier with an 8-4 lead. Points off turnovers, 5-4, DCG with the lead in that one. And your second chance points, DCG with a 6-2 advantage there. Xavier with the only 2 fast break points, and it's a 7-2 advantage. That is not right. Oh, it is. Never mind. Josie Lampy with a 3. I missed that one. So it is 7-2 off the bench for Dallas Center Grimes. And you mentioned Xavier only shooting 5 of 17 in the first half, 29%, 22% for Dallas Center Grimes. I think the silver lining is you didn't play super. You're down 4 if you're Xavier. And one of the things that Tom Lilly wanted to do was limit the 3-point shots for DCG, and they've done that.
Yeah, they've done a good job there. Dallas Center Grimes 2 for 11 from behind the 3-point line, and Miner, of course, 1 of 3 there. She hit 1, dropped 1. She had a great look there late in the second quarter and just fumbled the pass as it went out of bounds. But I think there's a lot to be encouraged about in terms of Xavier's approach here in the first half. Putbacks, a couple layups there in the press break where they had some chances, and in a low-scoring game that can obviously make a big difference. But if you can continue to create those same kind of opportunities, they had some good looks at some driving kick action early in the first quarter, and Xavier themselves 1 of 5 from 3, didn't get any of those other than the 1 to go down. So we'll see, I think, again, as I mentioned earlier, running a little bit more screen action to try to dictate the matchup that you want in the post, or getting somebody, perhaps a bigger player out, trying to stay in front of Fandel or Byer on the perimeter. Sometimes you can kind of use that switching action to your advantage if you can script some of the matchups that way.
Xavier's got to get Fandel and Byer going, too. A couple of baskets from Fandel early, and then after that, Fitzgerald really locked her down, and not Byer, I don't think, has had a whole lot of even looks so far in the game.
Well, she missed the 1 kick-out 3 on the right wing there in the first half, and then a couple by the basket there and an offensive rebounding scrum, and otherwise she's been pretty quiet, as you mentioned. And once again, a lot of credit to Dallas Center Grimes, doing a great job of staying in front of both of those players and then loading up their help early. And Xavier hasn't been able to take advantage of that by drawing defense to the middle and being able to knock down shots from the outside.
All adds up to a 15-11 lead for Dallas Center Grimes here at the halftime break. First of the 2 4A state semifinals. Glenwood will take on Sioux City Heelan. Coming up next, that's number 2 Glenwood and number 3 Sioux City Heelan going at it as the top 4 seeds made it through in Class 4A. 5A championship is set. Number 1 Johnston against 6th-seeded Waterloo West. And of course, Waterloo West was number 2 most of the year until falling in the very end. I believe the last night of the MVC season, I think it was City High that took care of business against Waterloo West. In the 3A championship, it'll be 4th-seeded Esterville Lincoln Central taking on 3rd-seeded Ballard. Coming up tomorrow morning, it'll be Dyke New Hartford and Panorama in a 2A semifinal, followed by Denver and Central Lyon. And then the 1As will kick it into gear. Newell Fonda will go up against Marcus Meriden, Cleghorn, Remsen Union. And then we've got Northland and Algona Garrigan tomorrow at 3 o'clock for you here on CRM Live Sports. And a 3:15 scheduled start for that one, as Northland will try to make it back to a state championship game. Well, Xavier's out. DCG now making their way out. No, wait until after the on-court festivities coming up here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament. But, hey, no panic yet. Xavier's been down before this year and certainly have the capability to come back. But need to hit a shot or two early on, I think, in this third quarter.
Well, one of the interesting things in the first half, Dallas Center Grimes, was able to negotiate that pressure from Xavier in the full court. Just 7 turnovers and only the steal from Fandel, where she got the layup right after it. And I know, again, something that you'd like to get out of that pressure, obviously, is you'd like to slow down Dallas Center Grimes a little bit, make them work a little bit in the backcourt. But boy, you hope that leads to 6 or 8, maybe 10 points in transition, as it did in the quarterfinal, where they were able to get some turnovers for points, and DCG just hasn't given that away here. And that's one reason why the Saints have been stuck on 11 points here for most of the second quarter.
Both teams coming back out as we'll get ready for our second half here from Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines from the Girls State Basketball Tournament here in just a moment. Halftime score is 15-11. Dallas Center Grimes on top of the Xavier Saints. And we'll be back after this here on CRM Live Sports.
End your search for your favorite restaurant in Cedar Rapids. Come to Emil's Hideaway. Emil's is the home for the best tasting American food around. Choose from your favorites: chicken, pasta dishes, pizzas, burgers, and fries. Whether you're bringing the whole family for a meal or wetting your whistle at our fully stocked bar, there's something to satisfy all ages and tastes at our classic American local restaurant. Need catering for your next party or event? Emil's has that too. Call them for details. Emil's Hideaway, open Monday through Saturday at 4 p.m., is right next to Home Depot and across from Lindale Mall on 1st Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids.
Hi, I'm Dan Hillers, the home loan expert. One of the most popular loans that we are doing right now is the cash out refinance. Think about it. Your home's value is at an all-time high, interest rates are near all-time lows. You can use that equity to pay off your credit cards, to do home remodels, or you could go on a nice vacation. See how I can help you today at hillershomeloans.com.
Bim Ritter Sportswear in Cedar Rapids is your complete apparel and headwear provider. Bim Ritter is your one-stop store for screen print and embroidery for polos, t-shirts, hats, and more for any age from newborn to adults. Need screen printing or embroidery for your company or a special event? Bim Ritter is the answer, as they work with local teams, clubs, organizations, and businesses from startup to finish to provide the look that you need with exceptional turnaround time. Bim Ritter is also the local apparel supplier for the Cedar Rapids Colonels and Rough Riders. Bim Ritter Sportswear, 817 2nd Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids. Call them at 364-3479 and visit them online at bimritter.com.
Xavier students behind us getting all fired up with Coach Tim O'Brien, the golf coach at Xavier. It's a tradition at halftime. Saints down here, 15-11 as we get ready for the third quarter. And our second half is brought to you by Epiphany Dermatology. Speaking of great Xavier fans, Dr. John Woolner, with over 30 years of experience at Epiphany Dermatology. They are located on Council Street Northeast in Cedar Rapids. Thanks to Doc for everything he does for us here on CRM Live Sports. Only a 4-point deficit, so all is not lost, and we'll see if the Saints can guide their way back in here and possibly move on to a championship game against either Heelan or the Glenwood Rams coming up. And that game will be played on Saturday night. Yes, Saturday night. First one right out of the chute, or evening, or late afternoon.
There you go. 4A, then 2A, then 1A on Saturday. Of course, the 5A final at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, and then the 3A final after that, as the Girls State Tournament starts to wrap up here Friday night and Saturday.
2:30 on Saturday will be the 4A championship game. Not used to the new schedule yet.
Well, I think the Union loves having that 5A matchup on Friday night. I don't expect that to change anytime soon. There's been some incredible crowds here the last couple of years, and the way they've built out the regional final schedule, they've added a little bit more rest in between days as much as they can, and so we'll see if they keep it this way going forward, and we can kind of settle into a routine.
Set to go. It's going to be DCG ball to start quarter number 3 as we're underway, as the Mustangs will go to the basket to our left. Xavier will pick them up in the straight-up man-to-man. Off the high ball screen, they get it to Minor. She'll take a left free throw line. Korshing. Minor wanted it back and didn't get it. Now over into the corner. Ella Lampe on the drive. Both teams with their starting fives in there. Ball tipped away by Fandel. Got it away from Bickford and stole it. Here comes Livy on the left-hand power move, drives in, was fouled.
Well, a couple stop-and-go moves there from Fandel. Nice job, active hands, just knocking the ball away from Bickford, and then came up with it down the left sideline right there. Basically, one-on-one, kind of stopped and go twice, and then went hard to the basket and drew the foul.
This will be the first free throw of the evening for Xavier. And it's up and good by the freshman Livy Fandel. 70% foul shooter. And I imagine the first thing Tom Lilly said, we have to take it to the basket and go to the line.
Well, it's a good start here. You get the turnover that leads to the 2 points and cuts the lead now down 15-13.
Mader with 2 fouls in there. Carl has 3 fouls. And it's Mason actually starting the second half, and there's a walk on Minor.
Once again, that first step footwork, she's running up the left sideline there. Kind of had to reach back for the basketball a little bit and must not have got it out of her hand before she lifted that pivot foot up and brought it back down.
So Kyla Mason going to start the second half along with Maddie Steger for Coach Lilly. Fandel, Mary-Kate Mader, and Byer. Byer behind the back dribble, working on Korshing a couple times. Got it to Fandel. Xavier can tie or take the lead. Byer to the corner. 3 on the way. That's way off the mark by Steger, and they fight for it in the corner. It's out of bounds to DCG as Mader went for it.
A bit of an early shot right there. Maybe could have kept working offensively. Mader, great effort on the other side, weak side there, trying to come down with the ball. Landed pretty hard on that knee, but she seems to be all right.
But the girls' union gotta like the pink knee brace, though.
Indeed.
It's the first one I've ever seen. I think we'll see some more down the line here. Hopefully not, because that means that there was a knee injury. Here's Hansen. Had a quiet first half for Dallas Center Grimes. They're up by 2. 6:40 to play in the third. Ooh, there's a high dribble and a walk.
Yeah, that's the right call right there. Korshing driving toward the middle of the lane off that left wing, and the ball just kind of got up over her shoulder as she was trying to gather it, drag the pivot foot before she could get rid of it, and the Saints will go the other way.
3 possessions and 3 turnovers, I should say, for Dallas Center Grimes. Fandel coming right. Fandel going to take it down the lane. Got it to Mason now. Put it on the floor. Got doubled, hit her toe, and lost it. And then she commits the foul, trying to get it back.
A little bit of a handoff there. Mason trying to get downhill, ran right into Minor, and as she back pivoted, trying to get rid of the basketball, as you mentioned, dropped it off her toe, and then in frustration, maybe as much as anything, reached in to try to knock it away and picked up the foul.
Xavier again with that full court pressure, bounce up ahead. Here comes Lampy to Minor. Did not take the 3, and now they'll set it back up. Bickford, right point, holds it up high. Then a drive on Byer, hands it back to Minor now. To Korshing, spun away from Fandel, down the lane, scoops it up, and good. Tough shot through traffic.
Very difficult shot. Korshing, one of the smaller players, if not the smallest player on the floor, went into the land of the Giants there and finished with a scoop shot on the right side.
17-13 lead now, back to a 4-point advantage. Byer out top, 5-second count is on, goes into the lane and got fouled on the runner.
A nice take there from Byer. She had Korshing ISO'd here in the middle of the floor, went behind the back, which is kind of her signature move. And as she went downhill, Korshing tried to reach in to contest the shot. Lex maybe a little bit off balance there, kind of got bailed out with the foul, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Got the first one for Lexi Byer. First point of the evening. And pulls Xavier within 3 at 17-14. Byer with one more, up and good. So you can see Byer and Fandel being a lot more on the offensive-minded side of things here in the second half.
And quite a bit more assertive, both of them, and both of them getting a little bit more space to operate as well.
Lampy down the lane off a nice fake pass to Minor, scores against Mader, who had to let her go.
Well, Dallas Center Grimes once again doing a nice job getting through this press. We'll see if Coach Lilly keeps it on, or he may take it off for a bit here. Doesn't seem to be getting a lot out of it and giving away some advantages on the back end.
Fandel to Steger. Right back it comes to Libby. To Steger. Mid-range jumper good on the high archer right in the lane from 12.
A nice little give and go there. Steger dropped it into Fandel just off the block and then relocated toward the elbow, dropped in the 10-foot jumper.
19-17. Throw over the top of the pressure. Nobody home, and it's taken out of there by Mary-Kate Mader. Turnover number 11 for DCG. Stop and go behind the back dribble by Byer. It goes in. Step back jumper from the baseline won't go. Nice rebound by Mason. Oh, they got her for the offensive foul.
Well, that is a tough call right there. Mason just did a great job, it looked like, boxing out and holding Dallas Center Grimes off on her hip. And then as she went up, kind of extended her rear end a little bit, as you're taught to do everywhere, and unfortunately got called for displacement there. Coach Lilly does not seem to be pleased with that either.
Does not. Still not pleased. Inbound pass tipped. It's loose underneath. Xavier had it for a moment, trying to save it in, couldn't do it. And it'll go to the Mustangs.
Nice play by Mater there to contest the entry pass. She, despite her smaller frame, got the deflection there. It looked like that Mason may have been grabbed from behind, but no call there, and Dallas Center Grimes will throw it in again.
Fitzgerald in, and Josie Lampy, and now nearer steal again, and we've got a foul again on Mason on a push. Boy, that was tough break because she tipped it, went right off a deflection to a Dallas Center Grimes player, and then Mason just kind of fell into her.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Mason, just giving great effort, and picked up 2 fouls there in about 8 seconds. Once again, I thought maybe she got grabbed from behind as she was trying to gather the ball, but the officials let them play on, and once they hit the floor, fortunately Mason was the second one to go down and got called for the push.
Minor trapped right in front of us, bounces it out of there. Here comes Lampy, got a screen. Lampy all the way down, can't get the left-hand layup. Rebound Josie Lampy though for DCG. 19-17, Fitzgerald wide open, 3, back iron, no, and rebounded out front. Here comes Fandel. Laid pass to Mater on the drive, scoops it up, no, got it back, and was fouled by Minor coming in late.
Well, again, that sequence, Fitzgerald took a 3 from the WNBA line back there. It hit the top of the backboard, came down to the Saints. They threw the long outlet pass to Mater, who went right at Fitzgerald, who was back on defense. Kind of threw up a little bit of an air ball there, but grabbed it on the other side of the rim, went right back up with it, and Fitzgerald picked up the foul.
In and out on the first free throw for Mary Kate Mater. Lexi Turner for Lexi Byer. 19-17, Dallas Center Grimes, 4:25 to play in the third. As this free throw curls out.
Well, despite the fact that we missed both free throws there, you like the aggressiveness of Mater taking it right at Fitzgerald in transition there. The Saints getting a lot more aggressive, as you mentioned, going to the basket. Hopefully that can continue here in the third quarter.
Special play being called here. Bickford up top. Lampy coming off the screen. 3, no good. Nice rebound by Fandel. Now she's trapped in the backcourt and got it out of there nicely.
Handled the ball there against the double team. After her teammates kind of left her by herself, and she was able to handle it and get it back up to the front court.
Riley Yonker into the ball game for Xavier. Ooh, almost lost the handle of the pass, but sets the screen now. Fandel, stutter dribble, leaves it for Turner. Left wing 3, no. Yonker the rebound, quick putback, no, as she was hipped out of there.
Yonker went up with it and looked like she was being pushed around a little bit as she faded away from the basket.
Shot no good, and then over the back on Ellie Lampy.
On the press break there, Minor just parked herself in the left corner as they threw the ball ahead. This time she pulled the trigger when she caught it, missed it long there, and then on the rebound, Lampy over the back, and the Saints will take over.
Sydney Huber will come in for Mary Kate Mater. 19-17 Dallas Center Grimes here in the third, low-scoring ball game.
What you like here, though, for Xavier, you mentioned this before, 4 turnovers to start the half for Dallas Center Grimes. The activity on defense much better there for the Saints, and they're continuing to get good opportunities on offense.
Huber for 3 and got it.
Including that one on the drive and kick right there. Huber knocks it down in some space, and Xavier back out in front now, 20-19.
Breaking the pressure, wing pass to Bickford. She'll bring it up the left-hand boards as Huber comes out to pick her up. Big 3 by the freshman Sydney Huber. Behind the screen, here's Minor. Dumps it inside to Fitzgerald. Lost it, picks it up, reverses it up short. Rebound loose, picked up by Xavier. Yonker out of there. Here comes Turner on the run. Turner directing traffic to Arnold. Looking for the trailer. Yonker lays it up and in.
What a wild finish there. Yonker, who cleared the rebound at the other end, threw the ball up the side, and she just filled the middle lane. And as she was cutting to the basket, just kind of caught it with her fingertips and flipped it up as she was falling out of bounds, and it went in.
11-4 Xavier run. On the drive, Fitzgerald took an extra step and got the layup.
Oh, yeah, they called that a Euro step, but that was a Euro step +1 right there as she made the left-handed layup.
22-21. Xavier on top and a hand check out front. They got Ellie Lampy, who's going to pick up her third. She's the first with 3 for DCG.
Again, you can see a lot of the activity here for Xavier at the offensive end, the result of just being more aggressive with the bounce. Right there, trying to attack the basket, draws the hand check. That is the 5th foul on Dallas Center Grimes here in the 3rd quarter, which could be key if the Saints can find their way into the bonus.
And DCG is going to take Bickford and Minor out. Interesting move right there by Coach Adam Jones.
We saw this start the 2nd quarter, both of them out at the same time. Didn't last for very long, but DCG struggled on offense with them out of the game.
Great pass inside, great seal by Maddie Steger, and she gets the 2. Xavier by 3, 24-21, pushing it ahead. Korshing and threw it away.
There, Korshing got through the press. When she went to the basket, she saw Yonker out in front of her, decided against trying to attack her there and went to kick it out to the corner. Unfortunately for Dallas Center Grimes, that pass had a little too much on it, went out of bounds into their cheerleading section. And the Saints will take over here once Riley Yonker finishes tying her shoe.
Carl for Steger for Xavier. DCG down 3 with their two of their top 3 scorers on the bench, and here comes Bickford now in. Huber got it going with a big 3. Starts a drive on Fitzgerald, pulls it back, comes off the Yonker screen. Cut off there, over in the corner to Arnold. With 90 seconds to play. The high-low look inside and a foul. Carl to Yonker.
A nice combination right there. Carl flashing to the high post there above the free throw line. Caught it nice and high. Yonker with those long arms inside. Kind of reverse pivoted on the left block. They threw it up to her, and as she kind of drifted across the lane, they grabbed her arm from behind, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Trying to improve the 3-point Xavier lead. It's up and good. Yonker with 3 points here in the 3rd quarter. Mary-Kate Mader checking in for Turner.
Mandel also back in, Lexi Byer back in, and the Saints are almost in their starting 5 here. Had 6 on the court there for just a second.
Can't do that.
As Huber realizes it was her turn to come back out, and now we're back to 5 on 5.
Like I said the other day, Sydney Huber's mom, of course, Stacy Freeze. Stacy played across the street, though.
Yeah, she had a nice little run there for a Wash back in the day.
Yes, she did. Won a state championship for Paul James. Helped to win one. Carl out, and a short breather for Steger. She's back in there. Minute 29 to play. Xavier with their biggest lead of the ball game, 26-21 at 5. Minor back into the ball game for DCG. She'll bring it across, and they'll set it up. Bickford holding it out front. Standing right-hand dribble. Directing traffic out there. Xavier playing off of her. DCG has not been able to get that 3-point game going. Bickford on the fake. Bickford on the drive and lays it up and in.
A nice drive there from Bickford. Kind of curled off a high screen around the top of the key. Took a look at the 3, put it on the deck, and got all the way to the basket there before the defense could recover.
Under a minute to play here in the 3rd. Mader up top between the circles, gets it to Fandel. Crossover dribble, going to drive, stop and go against Korshing. Runner good off the glass for Fandel.
Well, a tough shot there coming down the right side of the basket. Great job by Steger to hold off the help side from being able to come over and contest it. Fandel able to kiss it off the glass from about 4 feet out.
And a foul on Fandel on the pressure.
Good
Second
job.
On her.
And a good job from Bickford there, just trying to take her on in the open court. Fandel kind of stuck her knee out there as she was trying to slide along, and Bickford hit the floor, and they called a foul on Fandel.
Looking. Minor just got it in to Bickford. 33 seconds to play. Xavier by 5 at 28-23. Bickford gets it across the timeline. And they'll go for the last shot here of quarter number 3. Reese on the fake. Reese starts to go baseline. Circles it back out with 16. To Korshing. She'll hold it right there. A high-low lob inside. Minor lays it up and in. Nice little look there.
That was a great pass there. Steger was trying to work her way around to front it on the top side. Couldn't get there. They threw it over the top, and Minor knocked it in.
Byer step back. NBA 3 is short at the horn as we come to the end of the 3rd quarter. Xavier trying to pull off the upset. Saints 28. Dallas Center Grimes 25. We'll come back with the 4th quarter right after this here on CRM Live Sports, CRMLiveSports.com.
They are an Eastern Iowa tradition. Jonesy's on Wiley Boulevard in Cedar Rapids. Jonesy's is a home of undoubtedly the biggest and best tenderloins not only in Iowa, but the world. But did you also know they have other great meal options too, like chicken fried steak and hot beef? Jonesy's also serves sandwiches and appetizers that will make your mouth water. Jonesy's, home of the biggest and best tenderloins on Wiley Boulevard Southwest in Cedar Rapids. Spinal Corrective Center, 3800 River Ridge Drive, Northeast in Cedar Rapids. Dr. Gene Kretzinger and Dr. Janet Kuehl deliver state-of-the-art chiropractic care for the entire family. If you want to reach optimum health and peak performance levels, or are suffering from injury, pain, and other health problems, the chiropractic care they provide can give you relief and stability. Serving our area athletes for over 50 years and keeping athletes of all ages functioning at their highest performance for a winning game. Spinal Corrective Center, online at spinalcc.com.
Back for the fourth quarter. Xavier ball on the arrow. Saints outscored DCG by 7 in that third. Turned them over, and Xavier's reserves came in and did a really nice job.
Well, they continued with that deep rotation there through the middle of the third quarter and got contributions. A big three-pointer from Huber really kind of loosened the lid on the basket for the Saints as they were able to extend, as you said, a 7-point advantage there and now lead 28-25 here as we go into the fourth.
Xavier with the basketball to start quarter number 4. Byer to Steger. They tried the high-low look, but Mason was not open. Covered up by Minor. Fandel in there, as well as Mader. Hook pass, cross lane to a cutting Mason for the easy deuce.
And once again, it all started with the dribble penetration. Fandel coming down on the right side there, drew the entire defense over. Mason slashed to the backside block. Found herself all by her lonesome over there and laid it in.
30-25, the lead for Xavier. Bickford and Minor. Ella Lampy in there for DCG. Also Nelson and Korshing. So the Mustangs back to their starting 5. Lampy top of the key. They work at left side. Korshing in the corner. Fandel comes out to pick her up. And DCG has not been able to get that three-point game going here.
Well, they've moved Minor inside, playing a little bit of 4-out, 1-in, and she's trying to isolate Steger in there. Steger doing a great job of making it difficult for her to catch it.
Nelson on the drive, too strong. Offensive rebound and put back underneath by Minor.
And just as we say that, Steger having to come over and contest the shot, the miss, and second level, Lexi Byer a little bit late getting down there to be able to box out Minor, and she got the offensive board and laid it in.
Tom Lilly going to call a timeout. A 30-second timeout with 6:37 to play here in the ball game, with Xavier on top by 3, 30-27, and we'll be back to Des Moines after this.
At Hunt Graphic Innovations, it's the personal touch that counts. If you're serious about creating an eye-catching website or need assistance in graphic design for print, newsletters, posters, signs, or banners, Hunt Graphic Innovations has the experience to help get the job done. With personal attention and competitive pricing, discover the difference Hunt Graphic Innovations can make for you.
Back with you here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament in Des Moines. As Xavier 6:37 away from a possible trip to the state championship game in Class 4A. A lot of work yet to do.
Well, 6 minutes to go here. We kind of reset the game. Both teams with 4 timeouts remaining here. The Saints will be in the bonus on the next foul. 6 fouls here for Dallas Center Grimes. We see the Saints kind of spreading the 4 and a little bit of a 4-out, 1-in with Steger at the high post here, trying to get the Mustangs to chase it around a little bit.
Inside they find Mason, got the leaner. Good ball movement and a good reversal.
You see Dallas Center Grimes switch to his own there, trying to trap the ball a little bit. The great ball movement. They found Mason alone, and she laid it in.
And the ball kicked. It will stay with DCG. With 6:09 to play here in the ball game, Xavier up 5.
Well, Steger's played a great game. She got the deflection there, and she's been doing a great job on Minor inside as Dallas Center Grimes has kind of moved her in here, seeing if they can use her physical presence around the rim. Steger just trying to make it as tough for her as possible to catch the ball.
Looking, and they get it in now to Bickford. Outside the NBA arc, and she'll set it back up. Byer coming out on her. They're going to set up that high screen. Coming off of it. Now they'll send Lampy back out top here in a moment. Here's Fitzgerald going one-on-one. Fitzgerald drives in. No, missed it. Made her the rebound for Xavier.
Pretty nice drive there from Fitzgerald. Got herself all the way to the rim. Kind of tucked the basketball like a football there. Lifted up with the left hand just a little bit too strong, and the Saints come away with it.
You can be selective if you're Xavier right now. Fandel circles into the lane, crossover, drives in, lays it up and good.
She's so good off of that 1 foot, whether it's the runner, a little kiss off the glass there. She kind of crossed over, came back to her right side, off that left foot, and laid it off the glass.
34-27, biggest lead of the afternoon and evening for Xavier. Inside Minor, she gets it up and good on the left block.
A really nice counter move there. Minor going to the baseline on the left side, spun back to the middle, and then countered once again back to the baseline and laid it in.
Now DCG with some pressure, broken by Xavier. Stager had a block going up, and Lampy comes away with it, and then lost it out of bounds, and it's going to stay with DCG.
Good defense there from Dallas Center Grimes in transition. Stager kind of forced one into the coverage there. Looked like it might have gone off of the Mustang's foot there, but the official didn't see it that way. And the Saints are still employed in that full court pressure.
DCG trying to break it, and Bickford will do just that. Under 5 to play in the ball game as Xavier with the lead. Xavier up by 5, right of the lane. Minor, she'll turn, fired the 3 and got it. That was a big one.
We've seen her do that twice now in this game. Catch it kind of in the mid-post area, about 8 feet from the basket with her back to it. Dribble herself to the 3-point line and just knock it down.
Xavier breaking the pressure and an offensive foul on Fandel.
I think that's the right call. Both officials looked at each other with the same signal right there. You saw Ella Lampy there get herself set up. You like the idea from Fandel. She just got to pull up maybe a step sooner there. But right idea in transition.
Try for the 3-point play. So it's a 2-point game. And I tell you what, Emma Minor has come alive. And it's not been the threes until that last one. Instead, it's been getting her inside. Minor bringing it up on the power dribble. Got it to Korshing. DCG can tie or take the lead. Still 4:15 to play in the ball game. Korshing angling right off the high ball screen. Pass tip comes to Minor. With Mason out on her now. Fitzgerald coming off the ball screen. Stutter dribbles. Drives through a double team. Left hand layup, no. Weak side board, Fandel. Long up court pass. Finds a great cutting Mason. And 2.
An outstanding pass ahead there. Mason grabbed it inside the free throw line. A nice little stutter step to get to the basket and lay it in.
Fitzgerald, a 3 is short, and a rebounding foul on Fandel, and that's 4 on Libby.
Well, that's a big foul right there. An unfortunate turn of events. You see Fitzgerald loading it up from the red line in transition. From a Saints perspective, that's a shot that you like to see, deep and quick and contested. Unfortunately, the Saints couldn't come down with the rebound quickly enough. Fandel picking up her 4th, and we'll see what Coach Lilly decides to do with her here. With the lead, you might try to pull her and protect her a little bit, maybe run her a little inside-out offense and defense here with 3:47 left to play.
Yeah, DCG is going to take a timeout here as Dallas Center Grimes going to talk it over. 3:47 to play. Xavier up by 4. At 36-32, and gotta think it's going to be something here, like two-player game with Minor, and you take a pick, either Fitzgerald or Bickford, I would think.
Well, I would imagine everything gets run through Minor here from this point on for Dallas Center Grimes. At least that's what I would be looking at doing, making sure she's getting touches, whether it's on the perimeter or it's in the post, where she's done most of her damage here in the second half. She's just a tough physical matchup for just about anybody for Xavier right now. Maya Carl might draw that assignment if she's inside, but that's tough for her to stay in front of her on the outside.
DCG right now 34% from the field, Xavier 42%. The DCG only 18%. They're 3 of 16 from beyond the arc because the free throw is good by Ella Lampy.
Now the Saints have done a good job contesting that 3-point line, forcing Dallas Center Grimes to put it on the floor here. Both free throws good, and we are now back to a 2-point lead for the Saints.
36-34, little Mustang pressure just over halfway here in the 4th. Xavier trying to get to the final and win their 5th state championship. Ball tipped away from Lexi Turner and goes to pick it up. Arnold in there, Carl back in, Mason and Byer for Tom Lilly. And they're going to get Mary Kate Maynor in here at the next dead ball. Here's Arnold. Takes a free throw line, dishes it back now to Turner. Guarded out there. Up front by Ella Lampy. Turner on the drive to Mason. Xavier going to be very selective here on this possession.
I like the fact that they're using a lot of space on the court, driving middle, kicking it back out, being patient, looking for a good shot here with a 2-point lead.
Arnold had to make a heck of a catch on the sideline. Emma on the drive, lost it on her hip, ball loose, it's out of bounds, and it's going to go to DCG.
An unfortunate sequence there for the Saints. Dallas Center Grimes reaching in on the dribble there, and Arnold tried to grab it before it went out of bounds, but couldn't quite recover it. And now Dallas Center Grimes with 2:52 left will have a chance to tie or take the lead.
You kind of could see that coming, though. It'll be Korshing to bring it up. DCG can tie or take the lead. Mustangs with the basketball. Fitzgerald coming right. Fitzgerald down the lane, lost it, picked it back up, had it blocked, comes down to Lampy, and she was fouled. Mason thought she got a block, but they're going to get a foul on Kyla Mason.
Well, that's unfortunate for Mason right there. Again, the Saints do a great job contesting the initial shot and then can't come down with the defensive rebound. Mason trying to extend that arm. I thought it looked like a clean block from here, but the official disagreed. That's a fourth on Mason. First free throw is no good. Now Riley Yonker will check in for her for the Saints.
Well, they might have got that. They got it on Mater instead. So that's 3 on Mater. So Fandel's got 4, Mater's got 3. It's both free throws no good. Rebound loose on the floor. We're going to have a timeout. Xavier got a TO.
Well, nice job there from the Saints. That's one where at the loose ball you want to try to maintain possession here. 4 timeouts. You can use one for sure. 0 for 2 from the line there for Dallas Center Grimes, and the Saints will throw it in underneath. 2:31 left to go. 2-point lead. 7 fouls now for the Saints. So both teams will be shooting 1-1 here on the next foul here. We'll see if Fandel comes back in at the offensive end. You'd like to see, again, just a patient look here from the Saints, but obviously ball security very important. We'll see if Dallas Center Grimes comes out in a little bit of full court pressure or any kind of trapping action here just to try to speed the Saints up and see if they can turn it over again.
As
looks like the Saints will stay with the same lineup here. Yes. Fandel still on the bench. Mater in the game here with the 3 fouls, as you mentioned before.
here comes Xavier against the pressure with 2:28 to play. Byer crossover dribble over the timeline to Turner. So Xavier's got a couple of ball handlers in there. Turner to Byer. Both teams shooting free throws from here on in. Byer on the drive, circles it back out. Xavier with the 2-point lead. So they've got the hammer, a double, and a takeaway by Lampy.
Lampy just jumped into the dribble right there, caused the deflection, jumped on the ball and picked it up. And now 2 minutes to go here. Dallas Center Grimes another opportunity to tie or take the lead.
Still a lot of time as Fandel is going to get ready to come back in. Korshing on the dribble drive and kick to the corner. Fitzgerald turns down the 3. Up top to Minor. Couple jab steps on Yonker. Down to a minute 43. DCG down by 2. Minor wants that ball. Instead, up top to Bickford. Down to a minute and a half. Korshing, stop and go. Drives baseline. Cross court. 3-pointer. Good by Bickford.
Just a calm release right there from Bickford to give Dallas Center Grimes a 1-point lead with a minute and 15 left to go.
Still no panic. Still have time. 37-36. And timeout Xavier. Minute 12 to play in the ball game. DCG by 1. 37-36. We'll be back after this here on CRM Live Sports.
American Family Insurance agent Kurt Gustafson is committed to inspiring and protecting dreams right here in Cedar Rapids and the surrounding area. He starts by getting to know you and your needs and build a free auto, home, or life insurance quote. By bundling policies, we can often offer a variety of discounts. Whether you're purchasing a car, buying property, managing an investment property, starting a small business, or leaving behind a legacy, we've got your back as you pursue your dreams, and we'll help protect them. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. See Kurt Gustafson Agency of American Family Insurance on Johnson Avenue Southwest, right across from the Johnson Avenue Hy-Vee for more details.
3-pointer by Bickford gives DCG the lead, her first triple of the game. You got a minute 12 go. You're down by 1. What do you think Tom Lilly's talking about?
Well, I think at this point you want to work for the best shot you can get. You got plenty of time here. You'd like to see if you can get Fandel or possibly Beyer trying to get to the basket here. We talked about how the dribble drive had been so key for them in the third quarter as they established that lead. Again, Dallas Center Grimes most likely to stay in man-to-man. I would imagine they'll be aggressive here playing for a turnover without fouling. And again, both teams here in the bonus, the arrow is pointing toward the Mustangs.
Beyer gets the inbounds, drives to Mater. Mater circles down the lane. Leaner, no. Oh, offensive foul.
Boy, that is a tough one right there. Mater with the aggressive drive, kind of off the rail from the corner into the middle of the lane, crossed the rim line, went up off of 2 feet, but apparently the defender was there early, and she got called for the offensive foul.
Full timeout taken by who? Xavier. No. DCG.
Yes, the Mustangs got the timeout here.
All right, 1:03 to play. Xavier down 2. We'll be back for the finish right after this here on CRM Live Sports.
Cedar Rapids Millwork, providing outstanding service to Eastern Iowa for over 50 years. Quality products, including windows, doors, moldings, hardware, stair parts, specialties, and cabinets. Locally owned and operated, Cedar Rapids Millwork has in-house production, providing innovative quality services for contractors and their customers of the corridor. Cedar Rapids Millwork, 1950 Progress Drive in Hiawatha, and online at cedarrapidsmillwork.com.
1:03 left, and Dallas Center Grimes with a 1-point lead. DCG 35% shooting for the game, Xavier 42%. Pressure here, Nate. Don't need to foul right away. You can play some defense for a while, I think, if you're Xavier.
Well, you've got some time when you start to look at free throw percentages here. Ella Lampe from the foul line, just 35%. Everybody else for the Mustangs in their opening lineup here, over 65%. So if you could get Lampe, make her shoot 1-and-1, you probably go for it. Otherwise, you play for a turnover here.
And on the inbound, a foul right away. No time even went on off the clock.
Well, they called Mater for the hold there on Bickford as she was cutting back to the basketball right there.
Oh, they got it on Mater, and that's 5.
It'll be her 5th after the offensive foul at the other end, so she will check out here for the Saints. Hopefully her teammates can pick her up and give her one more game here if they can find a way to get a stop and a score at the other end.
Bickford will go to the line. MK Mater fouls out. Hopefully not her last game. So it'll be Bickford going to the free throw line, 80%. The left-hander, the sophomore, on the way. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Fandel. Minute to play. Xavier down by a point. Beyer to Fandel between the rings. Fitzgerald on her. Fandel going to take her one-on-one. Drives, pull-up jumper, missed it badly. Rebound, tapped, and picked up by Fitzgerald of DCG.
Now the Saints have to pressure here. Again, you've got a little bit of time if you wanted to run a trap.
Timeout going to be called by DCG with 35.1 to play in the ball game. That'll leave the Mustangs with 1 timeout here in the ball game. And tell you, it was a good shot by Fandel, really was, and maybe a little of adrenaline because she hit it too far.
Well, the one difference on that shot, she's been shooting that that shot off of 1 foot, kind of a little bit of a runner off the glass most of the night here, and that one was just a pull-up jumper from about 7 feet out. Rather than use the window Tim Duncan style, she tried to go over the front of the rim and was too strong on it. Then on the rebound, it looked like Turner might have had a chance at it, but Fitzgerald pulled it away. The Saints had a great trap as they brought it down the sideline right in front of the Dallas Center Grimes bench, but Coach called a timeout there to preserve possession. So 35 seconds left. 1-point lead here for Dallas Center Grimes. Xavier with 9 fouls, so the next one will be double bonus here for the Mustangs. Again, a lot of time here. You can play for a turnover for the first 10, 12, 15 seconds, whatever you have an appetite for. But I think if you can foul, let's see, it looks like they've taken Lampe out of the game here. Reese is in for her. Reese, a 61% free throw shooter on the year.
Got to get it in if you're DCG. They'll throw it in the backcourt to Bickford, who just missed the 1-and-1. Half a minute to play. Saints down by 1. Winner goes to the final. Bickford, standing dribble out front, picks it up, hands it off to Korshing. Splits defenders. Ooh, a high dribble, but they got the foul prior.
Well, unfortunately, the officials weren't calling a 5-second call up there. Byer was trying to work Bickford up by the half-court line and wasn't getting a count, even though she was working her tail off there. They started running a little bit of a dribble weave as Korshing turned a corner there. Stager reached in and grabbed her before, as you mentioned, the high dribble. She misses the first one now, so she will shoot one. 22.6 left here for the Saints.
It's still a 1-point game. It'll be a 1-possession game no matter what. Korshing, a 78% foul shooter. Got 1 out of 2. She's got 3. Xavier only needs a 2, a 3 to win it. 18 seconds. Will they call timeout? Timeout, Tom Lilly, with 15.7. Well, you go for a possible 2 or a 3 or just your best shot?
No, I would take the best shot here. Again, when you're down by 2, I'd like to get that up somewhere around 6 to 8 seconds. So you throw it in, get right into your main action here. If you don't have that, I would imagine you'll get a ball screen or a clear out for Fandel at the top of the key. You like to shoot it a little bit early and just tell everybody to crash the boards in case you miss it. And so you got a chance for a putback there with just 15 seconds left on the clock here.
Tom Lilly talking with assistant coach Beth Somick, and there's no cooler person out there. She won a state championship for Tom. And saying, hey, they both smiled after they talked it over, so they're going with the play they both like here. And we'll see. Libby Fandel in there with 4 fouls. Mary Kate Mader has already fouled out for Xavier with 5 points in the ball game. Xavier down 2, 38-36. DCG with a comeback from being down by 7.
The Saints will take the floor here. Fandel, Stager, Mason, Turner, and Byer throwing it on the side right in front of us in a little bit of a stack formation here.
15.7 goes to Byer in the backcourt. They're going to clear it out for her. 1-4 look to Fandel. She'll take it hard to the basket. Runner short. Got her on rebound. Back up. No good. Tipped around. And a foul with 4.1. Kyla Mason working hard will go to the line.
Well, you love the set play there. They go 1-4 low with Byer in the middle of the floor. Give her the first turn if she doesn't get it. Dribble handoff right there to Fandel, going to her right hand. Got 2 good looks at the basket. Mason worked exceptionally hard there. Got fouled going up, and she will shoot 2.
First one right through. 72% free throw shooter. This is for the tie, and DCG is going to ice her with 4.1.
Well, interesting call here on the timeout, because it allows you to do a couple of things. One, if you're the Saints and you want to sub here, sometimes in this kind of situation, we'd like to go hot on the offensive rebound. If she misses it, you got 2 players that are crashing and 2 players coming in from the 3-point line. 4 seconds left. There is a chance for a putback if it doesn't go in. If it does go in, now Dallas Center Grimes has to play it out because they don't have a timeout either to advance it if they were to move it up the floor and take a timeout. So we'll be live on the miss or the make here, and we'll see what Mason can do from the line.
And you want to have all kinds of enthusiasm and confidence for your shooter. You don't want to say, okay, in case you miss, here's what's going to happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, we were in this situation the first time we won a state championship where Alyssa Yeager got fouled with about 10 seconds left. And we had an offensive rebounding play on after she had, when she went to the line, she was shooting 1-1. No disrespect to her, but if she was going to miss it, we wanted to make sure we were still going after it, trying to make the most of that opportunity here.
Kyla Mason with 1 more. Has 9 points in the night, 38-37 DCG. This is for the tie with 4.1 to play. Mason on the way, got them both, we're tied. 4.1, DCG to inbound. Looking, Lampy gonna throw it deep. Korshing with a catch at half court. Korshing on the drive, up, no good! And we're going to overtime. Oh, exhale, Saint Nation.
Well, that was a close one there. A nice little set from Dallas Center Grimes after the make. They had Korshing running toward the basketball. She ran a little curl route there, and they just threw it out in front. It looked like she had a lane to the basket. Great hustle. I think it was from Mason there at the end trying to contest that shot. Gave it just enough to be able to make this finish difficult there, and then not enough time for a putback. And we are going to extra time here as we head into overtime.
Love it. We'll be back with overtime right after this on CRM Live Sports.
No matter where you are in life, Hills Bank is here to help you succeed. Whether you're buying your first house, saving for your child's future, or preparing for retirement, you can count on the people at Hills Bank for the support you need to reach your goals. It's easy to connect with a banker over the phone or on hillsbank.com because we believe banking is better through human connection. Hills Bank is an equal housing lender and FDIC member.
Credit Kyla Mason with the 2 free throws. Ice water in the veins. And we're going to overtime. First overtime in the girls' state tournament this week. As we'll have a tip and a center jump between Minor and Kyla Mason. Mary Kate Maynor is fouled out. Libby Fandel has 4.
Mason has 3. Turner will be in here for Mater to start the extra frame.
Ella Lampe with 4 for DCG. Both teams are shooting free throws. As we are set to go with the overtime period here in Des Moines at the girls tournament. DCG wins the tip. As they'll go to the basket to our left. Bickford, who hit a big 3 to put DCG out in front. We'll get the offense started. 4-minute overtime period. Bickford to the corner. Fitzgerald to Ella Lampe, playing with 4. Korshing drives at free throw line. Back to Finley Fitzgerald. Xavier in the man-to-man defense.
And once again, Steger just making it tough there for Minor, working hard side to side on the lane there. They're really contesting the entry.
Minor inside. Minor posting up, off the glass with it. No, rebound Fandel on the weak side. Libby on the run. Lead pass ahead to Turner. Thought about the bounce to the trailer, but instead will set it up to Byer. Byer gets it to Steger. Maddie circling left. They work the weave up top to Byer. Lexi on the drive. Kicks it right baseline. Turner jumper missed everything. And the rebound to Minor.
A nice little driving kick there. Lexi got the, Byer got the corner there. The defender left Turner. Turner 15-footer wide open on the baseline there and just missed everything.
Here comes Bickford in the open court. 2:45 remaining in overtime. We're still tied at 38. Minor outside the arc. Maddie Steger on her to Fitzgerald. Almost drug that pivot foot. Back out front to Vanessa Bickford. Holds it on Byer. 5-second count on. Got out of there with it. Minor gonna spin her way into the lane. Minor going one-on-one. Trying to dump it. Stolen away by Mason.
Well, Mason and Steger have just been exceptional on defense here all night. Steger making it tough for Minor to get the position that she wants. There, Mason helping over with the block shot, and the Saints now will pull it out with 2:13 to go, still tied at 38.
Lexi Turner going one-on-one and got the leader to go.
Turner, great job, just lowered her inside shoulder there, got the step to the rim, and the help stayed home with the shooter, and she was able to lay it off the glass.
All tipped out of bounds by Fandel as Arnold will come in for Turner for defense. And Josie Lampe will come in for Ella Lampe. One sister for the other. Looking to get it in, still looking, and yeah, a 5-second count. It was close.
And I think it's the right call. And the Saints have made an adjustment here in the fourth quarter with their pressure. Rather than playing in that 1-2-1-1 that's looking to trap the first pass when it comes in, they've switched to face guarding and trying to deny it. And there, Dallas Center Grimes couldn't get the ball in bounds.
Here's Xavier with a 2-point lead. Now you can be selective. Byer, nice bounce underneath the Mason on the high-low for 2.
Great play by Lexi Byer there. She caught it and faked it from the high post to a beautiful bounce pass, and Mason laid it in.
Number 1 in trouble in overtime. They got a 2-on-1 layup, good to account and a foul.
Tough right there. Again, Xavier in the full court pressure. The Mustangs able to get through it. Minor has been filling that backside on the left-hand side of their press break all night long. The ball came up the middle of the floor. She backdoor cut. Beautiful pass right there, and the Saints were not able to get in front. Pretty good finish through the contact for Minor, and she will go to the line here to shoot 1.
Emma Arnold got the foul. She checks out. Turn her back in. Free throw up. That's no good. Rebounded by Xavier. Saints with a 2-point lead at 42-40. Minute 35 to play. Byer right of the lane, shovels it over to Mason, who's been big in this half. Fandel on the drive. She'll pull up. Got the shot from 8.
Yeah, really nice little drive there in the lane. Pull-up jumper from about 6 feet out.
Fandel with 12. Miner on the other end gets the leaner after the Fitzgerald penetration.
Oh, the exact same play in the press break again. Ball came up the middle of the floor. Miner crashing from the left side. They led her right to the basket, and she laid it in.
44-42. As we come up on a minute to play in overtime. Byer in the 1-4 look. And he had her pocket pick stolen away. Porshing on a breakaway and gets the layup.
Tough break right there. Turner coming downhill, and Porshing just read it, ran right through her dribble all the way to the basket, and we are now tied. 45 seconds to play.
Go for one here.
I think if you can, again, if you get a layup or something easy, you might want to take it, but you also want to be pretty careful with the basketball here. Xavier with 2 timeouts if they want to call something to set something up.
Stager, left free throw line to Byer with 30. And here's the timeout. 28.3 to go. And Tom Lilly will use it. And they'll talk it over with 28.3 to go. Xavier's been getting a lot of success on that 1-4 look. Run a little weave and then having Fandel drive.
Well, a couple tough sequences there. You like the full court press look with the 4-point lead, but at the same time, gosh, you don't want to give anything away on the back end, and DCG being able to score 5 points on the back of that press break when the Saints can't get back to defend. You come the other way here. Turner with the unfortunate mistake of just being a little bit too aggressive, which led to the Gorsuch run out. Now with 28 seconds left, Coach Lilly having a long conversation with his staff here. I like the idea of the 1-4 low look that they went to earlier with Byer in the middle of the floor. You can lift Fandel on the left side to get her going to her right hand as they did before, and then try to sneak Mason down to the backside block where she's been pretty effective as Fandel's been able to draw some help. So a lot of options here for the Saints. 28 seconds to go. They still have a timeout as well, so if they get themselves into trouble, they can always reset here. Worst case scenario with, again, being in overtime, do you play for the last one? I think you play for the best one, and if you don't get a shot or don't get a great shot, then you play 4 more minutes and try to win it in the second overtime, perhaps.
Tied at 44 here in overtime. Lexi Turner to inbound. Mason Stager in there along with Byer and Fandel. And they're going to go with that 1-4 look. Now to Fandel. Has it right of the circle at 21. Brings it out front. No 5-second count. Fandel, the 6-foot freshman, holding it right there, and timeout going to be taken again. And this is the last one for Xavier. So they just wanted to take some time off the clock, and they got it down to 13.
Well, interesting there. I kind of like where we were at with Fitzgerald isolated on Fandel at about 30 feet out in front of it. A lot of space there. You could have gone 1-4 low and just given Fandel the whole lane to play in and lift your shooters on the side, but Coach Lilly wanted the timeout here, wanted to take it down to 13 seconds.
Yeah, if you're superstitious, do not look at the clock here with 13 seconds. That's what our official friend just let us know.
Well, once again, 13 seconds now. I think you do want the last shot. You don't want to give Dallas Center Grimes an opportunity here to go the other way. I don't know that you take it at 6 or 8 seconds, again, because you don't want to give them something on the back end here. Play for a second overtime if you don't get a great look, but I would imagine the ball is going to be in the hands of Fandel here and see what she can create off the bounce. She's been great with that little pull-up getting into the lane here, and Mason's been pretty effective on the backside block. We'll see what Coach Lilly has designed for the Saints.
Xavier 44, Dallas Center Grimes 44. It's been a dandy all the way, as the 4-seeded Saints trying to knock off number 1. It'll be Turner to inbound in front of us. Gets it to Byer. They'll go with the 1-4 look. Byer angling left. Now he's going to spin. Right free throw line with 6. Byer isolated. Byer to the corner. Fake. Stager. Fall away. 17-footer. No. And we're going double overtime.
Well, that's all right there. Again, you had Byer trying to create in the middle of the floor. You got a shot at the horn. Dallas Center Grimes did not get possession, so all of those things are good. Again, maybe without the timeout, you have Fandel isolated up top, but you'll take 4 more minutes here rather than having to get a stop at the other end, and the Saints will live on to play a second overtime.
44-44 here from Des Moines. We'll have the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths post-game show for you coming up at the end of this one. We might go a while. Heelan and Glenwood hang on. They will get the winner of this particular ball game. And you go back to regulation. DCG had a chance to ice it. They missed free throws. And for Xavier, give them a lot of credit. Came back, got some big shots to take it into overtime. Xavier got the lead in overtime, but then Minor kind of put the team on her back.
Yeah, well, you're right. And, unfortunately, again, Minor was able to get free in the press break when Xavier had a 2-point lead and a 4-point lead there. You'd like to, if you can, make sure that they're playing with defense in front of them. Certainly Minor good enough to be able to score even in 5-on-5, and we'll see if DCG wants to continue to work her on the block and try to run it on the inside. Arnold will start the second overtime, it looks like, for Turner here.
Don't get many double overtimes at State, but we have one here, and the tip is controlled by Xavier. As he'll get the first crack out of here in double OT. Fandel in the front court, gonna go crossover. Driving a kick to Emma Arnold. Mason in there, Steger in there, and Lexi Byer for the Saints. Byer out front, yo-yo dribble, starts to drive, gets it to Steger. Comes off the Fandel screen. Saints take 30 seconds off. Here's Fandel, three, no good. Chases on, it's out of bounds to the Mustangs.
A good hustle there from Mason, tried to track it down. Looked like she got bumped a little bit from behind, but no call there, and DCG will take over.
Full court, Xavier pressure against DCG. Lampy, who got a 5-second count. Last time she threw it in, almost got one here, but got it to Korshing. Gonna push it ahead on Arnold. Now she'll spin it back out and leaves it in the corner for Minor.
Steger back on Minor here. Minor, it looks like, is going to be on the perimeter to start this possession. Little high ball screen. Bickford likes to refuse this.
Oh, she goes crossover. Bickford drives in. Living good on the layup.
They've set that up a couple of times there, and every time they've refused the screen and gone the other way. Bickford again crossing over with Minor in the corner. Makes it tough to help off, and she's able to finish.
9 for Bickford, 46-44. That was a good move. You tip your hat to that one. Vandell. Xavier down by 2. Arnold between the circles. Gets it over to Byer at the far hash. Korshing out on her to Steger. Maddie holds it right there. They're playing off of her. Back to Arnold. 2:35 to play. Fandel, runner, no, but fouled.
Well, nice play there. Fitzgerald working really hard to try to deny Fandel the ball on the perimeter there, and they ran just a little bit of a curl screen. Fandel coming downhill, nice lead pass to get her going to the basket, and it looks like, is that foul on Bickford?
I think it was on Fitzgerald.
On Fitzgerald, yep, with the body from behind here.
Free throw, no good though for the freshman, Libby Fandel. Has one more. Fandel on the air, 70%. Can bring Xavier within 1 with 2:35 to play in double OT, and got that one.
So 1-point lead here for the Mustangs. Again, the Xavier in that full court pressure here, trying to deny the inbound.
13 for her, and there's a foul on the pressure on Turner.
A bit of a tough call right there. Turner tried to reach around Korshing there to try to get the deflection, maybe just bumped her with her chest. The Saints here are over the limit, and so Korshing will go to the line to shoot 2.
1 out of 2 tonight from the free throw line. Had a big miss in regulation. First one of 2 is short. 46-45. She pulled the string on that one.
The Mustangs now 8 of 19 from the free throw line in the game, about 42.5% here to allow the Saints to be able to hang around.
If DCG loses, that's going to be a big part of it. Korshing got the second. 2.5 to play in double overtime. 47-45, Dallas Center Grimes. Run your offense, get a good shot. Fandel going baseline, got doubled, finds the open player, Mason, for the easy layup.
Really nice there. Fandel went to the baseline. Minor left Mason to go for the double team, and Fandel was able to find her for the layup.
14 for Mason. Fitzgerald drives, kicks it to Minor now with 2:10 to play. Tied at 47 here in double overtime. Bickford coming off that high screen. Yo-yos it back, 5-second count was on, now it's not. Now Bickford penetrates off the glass with it short, rebound tip to Fandel. Here comes Libby on the run. She almost had it taken away. Fandel stop and go. Step back jumper, left it short, rebound Minor.
And not a bad take there. You like the aggressiveness from Fandel in transition with a tie score. If you can get an advantage there, kind of step back from eight feet out, and a tough little shot from the baseline, but a good shot for your best player.
They're going to run a little time, it looks like. They've got shuffle showing on their play cards. Nope, they're going to go down low. The pass off the hands of Korshing, out of bounds.
Well, it did look like they were going to spread it out there. Korshing made a backdoor cut, and again, we've mentioned her stature here, the smallest player on the floor, and that pass just went up over her head. And now the Saints will take over. 1:24 left, 1 timeout left for Xavier, 2 for Dallas Center Grimes. We'll see how aggressive Coach Lilly wants to be here.
47-47. DCG has 2 timeouts. Xavier has only 1. Fandel, top of the key. Guarded by Fitzgerald, works it over to Turner. Mater is fouled out. Turner on the drive, one-hander, no, and the rebound to DCG.
Not a bad take there. Turner got right to the front of the rim, about 4 feet in front, just a little bit of a floater. Couldn't quite get it to roll, almost had the rebound.
There's a timeout with 53.7. Would not be shocked to see DCG go for a last shot.
Well, they're in more or less the same situation that the Saints were here at the end of the first overtime with 53 seconds left on the clock, at 1 timeout remaining. I would imagine they will space the floor out, and then probably we'll see if they set that same high screen for Bickford with putting Minor in the corner there. It gives you a chance to get Minor on a backdoor cut, a wide open 3, or Bickford going one-on-one. Xavier most likely will need to help off a little bit and make somebody else make a play, although the Saints could also match up here and give some pressure and see how Dallas Center Grimes handles that in the half court.
47-47 with 53.7 to play here in double overtime. We were tied at 38 after regulation. Each team with 6 points in the first overtime, and so far anyway, each team with 3 here in overtime number 2. And it'll be Mustang basketball. You don't turn down a layup though if you have it.
No, I think if you're Dallas Center Grimes and you can get to the basket, again, one of the things about being aggressive in this situation, shooting in the double bonus here, is while Xavier may want to play with some pressure there, they certainly don't want to foul, and so we'll see what the Mustangs do here.
Inbound to Bickford. In the backcourt, guarded by Fire. They're going to go with a spread look here. Fitzgerald with Arnold on her. Comes off the high ball screen. Gave it up now to Bickford. In there along with Ella Lampe playing with 4, Korshing and Minor. I look for Minor to take the shot. 1 timeout left for both teams. We're down to half a minute to play in double overtime.
Well, we'll see if they run that weave away and then get Minor on the back screen. They've had her a couple times on that in the game tonight.
Hand off Bickford. Coach Jones is up next to the official. I wonder if they're going to get another TO. 5-second count is on. Timeout. And they did get the timeout with 12.2.
That's a good timeout there. Bayer was just trying to find the distance where she could keep that count alive, and unfortunately the official was on it. Bickford, I'm not sure she was aware of it. And right as we were at almost 5 seconds there, Coach Jones takes the timeout to preserve possessions. Now 12 seconds left all on the side. I would imagine, as you said, you might see Minor throw it in, throw some back screen action. You might see Bickford trying to get downhill, and you might see Minor in the post, but I would imagine it's going to go through one of those 2 players.
Double overtime with 12.2 to play, as it'll be Dallas Center Grimes ball. Xavier's had luck with the 1-4 look, and we'll see what DCG does if they put Minor down low, or if they keep her out on the perimeter here, the 6-foot junior.
Well, Bickford's had a lot of success coming downhill on the left side of the floor as well. You could easily park Minor in that corner. Allows her to be able to back cut if her defender helps on the drive, or have her sit there as a shooter. She's a 42% three-point shooter, so that's a good look for DCG. Again, we talked about this with Xavier. They probably want the last one, so the Saints do not get a chance to grab the ball and go the other way. Mason will be on the inbounder here as Dallas Center Grimes takes the floor.
Now DCG has no timeouts. They got to get it in. Looking, still looking, and they just got it to Korshing. She'll take a free throw line. Spins right there. Comes off the ball screen with 6. Korshing on the dribble drive. Korshing all the way in. Layup no good. Put back. No, and we're going to another overtime. Boy, they let it go. There was a little contact.
That they did. Korshing caught the inbound pass. I think the ball was supposed to go into Bickford in the backcourt there, but Lexi Byer did a great job denying her. They threw it into Korshing, and once she cleared it at the top of the key with about 6 seconds left, realized she didn't have anywhere else to go. She got downhill, had a decent look at it. Fandel was contesting. She threw the ball a little bit hard off the backboard, and on the backside, it looked like who was that on the backside there? Lampy. Ella Lampy had a chance, got the offensive rebound, may have been bumped, as you mentioned, was fading away, and threw it over the backboard, and will go to play on another 4 minutes as we move into another overtime.
47-47, triple overtime here from Wells Fargo Arena in the Girls State Basketball Tournament. Heelan and Glenwood, they just go on back to the locker room. Warm up again. All right. Xavier got the last center jump, though. And we'll see if they get this one. Again, DCG with Ella Lampy with 4 fouls. No one else with more than 2. Mater is fouled out for Xavier. Libby Fandel playing both overtimes with 4.
And a large portion of the fourth quarter with 4 as well.
Triple overtime. And again, Xavier wins a tap. Mason out, jumps Minor. Here we go. Fandel working the weave up top. There's Byer. Brings the dribble back out against Korshing. Going to go one-on-one. Driving a kick to Turner. Turner, left free throw line. Looking inside for Fandel. Couldn't find her. Instead goes to Byer. Turner on the right side. We played 30 seconds. Saints on this possession. Fandel one-on-one. Fandel on the drive. Can't get it to go. And the rebound to DCG.
She got a great look. She's made that shot all night long. Just a little hesitation, inside-out dribble. Got herself to the basket on the right side and just rolled off the front of the rim.
A lot of tired young ladies out there right now. Fitzgerald to Korshing. Now beyond the NBA arc up top. Bickford to Lampy. Here's Korshing with it. Gave it up to Minor now, guarded by Stager. As DCG just running some clock here. It's runner 3 in overtime. Overtime going to look a lot different next year. Korshing on the drive. Scoops it up. No, and Fandel the rebound. And then it was taken away from behind. That should be over and back, and it is.
Wild sequence there. Korshing missing the layup. The Saints grabbed it and looked like they were going to outlet on the fast break, but good hustle from Korshing. Chased the dribble down from behind. Bounced it once in the front court. Couldn't stop her momentum. Ended up in the backcourt, and the officials were all over it with the over and back call.
2:40 to play. And Xavier with the ball in this 47-47 game. Turner drops it. Fandel in the high post. Spins at the right elbow. Now brings it back out. Who's going to score for time? Fandel in the fake. Step back. High arching 3. Ring it up for Fandel.
Big shot from Fandel right there. Stepping back behind the screen from the three-point line, about 22 feet out, and knocks it down. Huge shot for the Saints.
Lampy got it into Korshing. Right back it comes to Fitzgerald. Pump fake and a layup.
Well, once again, the Saints getting burned on the back end of that press there with a lead. You almost wonder if they should pull that off and just get their defense set. 1:50 left to go here in a 1-point lead. We'll see how patient that the Saints are.
50-49. Fandel from that same spot. Dumps it to Stager. Right of the lane. Turns on Lampy. Gave it up now with 1:38. Here's Byer. And come right with it. Byer will bring it back out. Gives it up to Mason now. Mason dumps it inside. Fandel cutting down the lane and scores.
Well, she scored again on that nice little curl cut there on the left side. Now, once again, the Saints trying to pick up in full court.
18 for Fandel. 52-49. Minor in the corner. Minor in the drive. She's going to step back. She wants the 3, but doesn't get it. Minute 8. Bickford, high-low look, and coming over to knock it away is Kyla Mason. Big turnover in the backcourt. Xavier with the basketball. Up by 3.
Now you want to space it out and make them foul you here. Up by 3 with 50 seconds left.
Stager holding it. Got it to Byer with 45, and there's the foul. As Korshing fouls Lexi Byer.
A smart play there by Korshing. At what looked like Dallas Center Grimes wasn't sure exactly what they wanted out of that defensive possession there. Excellent play by Mason coming over on that lob pass. Minor looked like she was going to set a ball screen at the top and then slipped it. They had her at the basket. Mason came over from the weak side and deflected it. And now Byer will go to the line to try to make this a 2-possession game with 45 seconds left to play.
1-1. Free throw, no good, and the rebound to DCG. Down by 3. 38 seconds. Bickford drives in, and before the shot, a foul. She took it hard to the basket. And it's double bonus time for both teams. I think they got Byer.
Looks like 15, Lexi Byer, yep, on the drive. Not a bad foul there. Bickford's going to have to earn it from the line.
She'll have 2. Bickford up and no good. Front iron and off.
And now 38 seconds left. Xavier with 2 timeouts, which is key here if they cannot get the ball in bounds or they find themselves in some trouble. Dallas Center Grimes just 1. They will now sub Minor out of the game to give her a quick breather, which probably means another foul coming here. As Dallas Center Grimes should be extended in some full court defense, make or miss.
Has one more, puts it up, that one right through for Bickford. Inbound, here's Fandel. That's who you want to have the ball. Fandel spinning in front of us. Picks it up, got it out of there. Now to Turner, and they're going to foul her with 29.3.
That'll be the 10th team foul here for Dallas Center Grimes, so Turner will go to the line to shoot 2 with a 2-point lead. Minor back to the scorer's table here. She will probably be in and out for some offense and defense. We'll see if the Saints stay in that full court pressure look here. The Dallas Center Grimes has had no issues getting through it. The Saints have been a bit vulnerable on the back end.
Free throw, no good by Turner. Not a bad free throw shooter, 63%.
Well, we're in the middle of the 6th quarter of a basketball game here, so it's a little bit different shooting free throws after you've been playing for 40 minutes compared to a normal game for sure.
Triple overtime. Xavier by 2, make it 3. Turner got 1. Timeout, Tom Lilly. As it's 53-50, Xavier here in triple overtime with 29.3. And you gotta think right now, Tom Lilly is talking about, okay, you've been doing a great job all day on the perimeter. They like to shoot 29 threes per game. You played 40 minutes like you talked about, Nate. And so far, DCG has only shot 17 threes, but they're going to get one here.
Well, and DCG's got plenty of time. 29 seconds left if you want to go for a quick 2. Again, if Tom comes out and plays the full court press and you get through it, you can get something early as they did at the end of the first overtime. I think they would take the 2 and continue to play the foul game here. You could do that at least 1 or maybe even 2 more times. If I'm Xavier, I might keep my pressure up front here to make the inbound difficult, but as soon as the ball comes in, boy, I would be turning and running, and as you said, contesting that 3-point line. Even a foul here from Xavier isn't necessarily the worst thing when you're up by 3. You certainly want to make somebody earn it rather than giving them a straight line path to the basket.
As it'll be Mason face guard the inbound pass. DCG with 1 timeout left, Xavier with 1. 29.3 in triple overtime. Xavier in this 4A semifinal leading DCG 53-50. Now Minor's going to inbound, interestingly enough. They have the 6-footer. Going to get it in. Got it right back from Fitzgerald. 25 seconds. Xavier will let her bring it up. They'll hand it off to Bickford with 20. They need a 3. Bickford coming off the Fitzgerald screen. Coming off the screen. Minor 3, way off, no good. Rebound Byer with 10. Byer up ahead to Arnold. Ahead to Mason. Xavier's going to the final. Inbound, and that will do it. Triple overtime. Tom Lilly doesn't care.
Well, exciting finish there for Xavier. Great set from Dallas Center Grimes. They showed the high ball screen for Bickford that they've been running all night. They hid Minor on the weak side block and set a down screen for her right behind the drive. Got her a clean look. She missed the rim, got a bit of the backboard. Byer comes up with the rebound, throws it ahead to Fandel. Mason was sprinting out in front of everybody. They found her for the uncontested layup, and the Saints, after 3 overtimes will live to play another day for a state championship on Saturday.
55-50 in triple overtime. And Mary Kate Maynard will play another game. How about that? As the Saints celebrate right in front of us. As Xavier will advance to 19-6. So they take down number 5 and now take down number 1 on their way to the state championship game coming up on Saturday afternoon at 2:30. And we'll have it for you at 2:15 right here on CRM Live Sports coming up on Saturday afternoon. As DCG getting their semifinal trophy right now, as it's going to be Maya Carl to put the sticker on for the Xavier Saints. And move on here. Xavier will play either Glenwood or Sioux City Heelan in the state championship. So Mississippi Valley with 2 state finalists in 2021-2022.
Well, it certainly says a lot about the league. Of course, there's that rivalry about which league is better, the CIML or the MVC, and back and forth every year, but great representation for Waterloo West, and now Xavier making their way to the state championship game.
Saints coming over to thank their fans, and we're going to take a break. Come back with the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths post-game show for you right after this here on CRM Live Sports, crmlivesports.com.
End your search for your favorite restaurant in Cedar Rapids. Come to Emil's Hideaway. Emil's is the home for the best tasting American food around. Choose from your favorites: chicken, pasta dishes, pizzas, burgers, and fries. Whether you're bringing the whole family for a meal or wetting your whistle at our fully stocked bar, there's something to satisfy all ages and tastes at our classic American local restaurant. Need catering for your next party or event? Emil's has that too. Call them for details. Emil's Hideaway, open Monday through Saturday at 4 p.m., is right next to Home Depot and across from Lyndale Mall on 1st Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids. Epiphany Dermatology is a full-service dermatology practice that treats all conditions of the skin, hair, and nails. Dr. John Woolner has been practicing and treating patients for over 30 years. Epiphany Dermatology has built a reputation based on reliable customer service and quality skin and hair loss treatments. Epiphany Dermatology also places a special emphasis on skin cancer prevention, screenings, and treatment. Call them to book an appointment at 363-9936 and visit their website at epiphanydermatology.com. Epiphany Dermatology, 5264 Council Street Northeast, Suite 700 in Cedar Rapids.
Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths. Your home never looks so beautiful. Plumbing fixtures, a great variety. Transform your home with Plum Supply. Our kitchen designs are amazing. Our service is priceless. Plum Supply. Touch and see. Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
The Xavier Saints in triple overtime win it 55-50 as we come your way on the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths postgame show. Scott Unash, Coach Nate Sanderson with you, and what a game. This is going to be one I think they're going to be talking about at the state tournament for a long, long time.
Well, certainly an exciting finish there. You don't see very many overtime games, let alone 3 overtimes. Both teams left it all on the floor for sure. Some tired bodies out there, but some great plays from the Saints. Incredible contributions across the board there. Mason with some huge free throws and putback, and then obviously Fandel with some heroics late as well.
Indeed, as Xavier goes to 19-6 on the season, as the Saints are headed off to the 4A state championship game here at Wells Fargo Arena. And that will be coming up on Saturday afternoon. And we'll have it at 2:15 for you right here on CRM Live Sports. We were tied at 38 at the end of regulation. Each team scoring 6 in the first extra frame. 44-44 going to double overtime. Only 3 for each team in the second overtime. And then Xavier with the win 55-50. Hey, maybe it took Dwayne Schulte to be on the floor along with his brother, Dr. Schulte here, who lives in Des Moines. So, hey, anything to help out. But Dwayne's won a few championships and a few semifinals, so he may have brought a little bit of extra help for the Saints. Let's take a look at the final scoring for Xavier. They go to the championship at 19-6, 2 in double figures. Libby Fandel, the 6-foot freshman, leading the way with a total of 18, 14 of those coming in the second half and in overtimes. Kyla Mason was huge, 16 points, 14 of those coming in the second half and in the overtimes. And then it got balanced after that. You got 5 for Mary-Kate Mader before fouling out. Maddie Steger had 4. Riley Yonker had 4. Sydney Huber had a big 3. 3 for Lexi Turner, including a big free throw. Lexi Byer had 2. For Dallas Center Grimes, they end at 21 and 4. Emma Miner and Vanessa Bickford in double figures. Miner with 16 points, 10 for Bickford. Off the bench, Finley Fitzgerald with 8. Avery Korshing with 6. Ella Lampy with 4. Ellie Nelson with 3. And Josie Lampy with 3 in the ball game. Bench scoring, Xavier 26 off their bench today to only 11 for Dallas Center Grimes. That was big. Score was tied 5 times. Lead changed 7 times as far as the game was concerned here this evening. I think we were still in this evening, right? That was a long one right there. Turnovers, 18 for Xavier all told. And for DCG, they ended up with 16 in the ball game. And I'm going to let you talk about shooting.
Well, when Dallas Center Grimes goes back and looks at the film, the first thing that's going to stand out is 10 for 22 from the free throw line. They had opportunities to salt the game away in regulation and missed the front end, missed a couple of key free throws at key moments, finishing the game at 45.5% from the line. That was the difference on the night. From the field, Xavier 21 of 49, 43% on the evening, just 3 for 11 from the three-point line, although a big one from Fandel there on the step-back 3 in the second overtime to give the Saints the lead that they would not relinquish after that. 10 of 15 from the line for Xavier, 67%. Dallas Center Grimes from the field, 18 out of 50 on the game, 36%, and we mentioned the three-point shooting, 36% coming into the game. Only 22%, 4 of 18. You also mentioned 29 three-point attempts on average. They only got 18 off in the game tonight. Xavier doing a great job extending their defense, making them put it on the floor and finish around the basket. And some tired legs there, certainly in the overtime, as you mentioned. Not a lot of points for Dallas Center Grimes, just 3 in the second overtime, 3 in the third, as the Saints hold on to win 55-50.
What a win by Xavier, as the Saints hope they have something left in the tank. Good that it's not the next day to play the championship game. You got a little bit of time anyway, so that's going to help. Well,
I was just going to say that. It's nice to have the day off in between, and now you get a chance to drink a lot of water and stay off your feet, get a lot of rest. If you've got any kind of recovery workout, stretching, rolling out, any of those kinds of things to try to get your bodies ready. Having 2 days is a nice luxury to the new schedule here, and I'm sure the Saints will try to get some rest and take an interest in how this game comes out here as they'll figure out who they're going to play on Saturday afternoon.
You just can't dial up and turn it on and off like Libby Fandel did as a freshman. Reminds me a lot of what Riley Goebel did for CPU 4 years ago. And it's not like coming out of nowhere or anything like that, but Fandel wanted the ball at the end, and you don't find many freshmen that want the ball like that.
Well, and it's interesting the way Xavier is kind of built here. Lexi Byer has kind of taken over the point guard duties here this season, and that allows Fandel to rest a little bit. She doesn't have to expend as much energy when she's not trying to get through the pressure, bring the ball up the floor. It also allows Xavier to shuffle the defense a little bit before she gets it to attack, and we saw that quite a few times in some dribble handoff action, some drive and kick action, where Fandel was actually the second attacker in some of those second half possessions that allowed her to get downhill. And then we just saw the array of shot making, that she's got within 6 or 8 feet of the basket. The floater off one foot, the kiss off the glass. You got a couple pull-up jumpers, and then the big step back three to give the Saints the lead late. She's got it all, and she's got quite an impressive resume here just as a freshman.
And Kyla Mason getting loose inside as well, and good defense by the Saints to the end, as they limited Minor her looks. Anyway, after that first overtime, really clamped down in the second and third overtimes on the 6-foot junior for Dallas Center Grimes. Xavier wins at 55-50. We'll come back and we'll have our Dental Center player of the game, our First Federal Credit Union play of the game. All that when we return to Des Moines here on CRM Live Sports.
Looking for a family-owned, friendly experience when you need dental care? You will find it at the Dental Center. The Dental Center has been caring for patients in the corridor for over 50 years. Doctors Chris, Jenna, and Kyle Hangeman, Brad Stovey, and Shannon Hinks provide dental care for the entire family from age 3 through 103. The staff at the Dental Center understand that some patients have dental anxiety, and they are very experienced in making them feel comforted and cared during their visit. Because at the Dental Center, patients are more than patients, they are part of our Dental Center family. The Dental Center, with 2 convenient locations in Southeast Cedar Rapids on Mount Vernon Road and Hiawatha. Quality, comfortable care. First Federal Credit Union has been helping homeowners for almost a century. Options are crucial when it comes to a first-time home purchase, mortgage refinancing, or a bill consolidation loan. Being able to select the absolute best loan for your situation can literally save you thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an experienced homeowner, First Federal Credit Union will work to find the solution that is right for you. Learn more at firstfedcu.com. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Back with you here in Des Moines at the Girls State Tournament after a Xavier triple overtime, 55-50 win over #1 Dallas Center Grimes. It'll be Xavier versus Glenwood or Sioux City Heelan coming up in the state championship game on Saturday afternoon. Let's pick our Dental Center player of the game. It is brought to you by the Dental Center, Mount Vernon Road Southeast and in Hiawatha. And I know a happy Saint, Dr. Brad Stovey, and his entire staff, and we help them and thank them very much for helping us out here on CRM Live Sports. And I think you got to go Libby Fandel with a high honorable mention to Kyla Mason tonight.
Well, for sure. Fandel was the difference for the Saints offensively in the second half. Just 11 first half points as a team, only 2 in the second quarter. We talked at halftime about how they were needing to get something going and trying to get some dribble penetration, which she was able to do, and certainly keyed the Saints comeback there in the second half and made some key buckets in overtime. Mason, a terrific job around the basket. Obviously, the Saints aren't playing if she doesn't make those 2 free throws as well. So certainly honorable mention, well-deserved for her. And another name just to put on your list if you got one more, Maddie Stager's defense against Minor there throughout the second half. She didn't score much in the game. Stager didn't herself. But boy, she made Minor work hard, and you could see that fatigue in the final 2 overtimes in particular after Maddie made her work so hard inside once they moved her down into the post.
So congratulations to all those players and Libby Fandel, our Dental Center player of the game. First Federal Credit Union brings you the First Federal Credit Union play of the game, brought to you by First Federal. Check them out online. Their website, firstfedcu.com. And you got to go with the Fandel 3. That changed the whole complexion of the third overtime.
For sure. It was a great shot, big shot. Fandel had taken a lot of threes in the game up until that point. I think she was just 0 for 3, so she made that one. Step back behind the screen. It was right in front of us. Beautiful arcing shot. She cashed it in, and that all of a sudden made it a little bit more difficult for Dallas Center Grimes with a 3-point lead, which the Saints were able to hold on.
So congratulations to, again, Libby Fandel, that 3-pointer in the triple overtime to give Xavier the lead and ultimately the win, 55-50. What a game! We'll try to top it tomorrow afternoon. I'm not sure we will be able to, but we will have Northland and Algona Garrigan tomorrow for you at 3 o'clock and 1A state semifinal for you. Winner goes to the 1A championship game. Nate will join me at 3 o'clock coming up on Friday afternoon for you. And then we're back on Saturday at 2:15 for Xavier and the 4A state championship game. I'll let you get back, and you get the thinking caps back on with Coach Wheatley and Coach Getkin and whoever else you got sequestered up there. And we'll see you tomorrow.
That sounds good. We got a film session over at Uncle Clint's house and some dinner tonight, so we'll dig into the game plan and hopefully get him ready to go for tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Nate. Appreciate it. And that's going to wrap things up. Big thanks to everybody for tuning in to this classic here tonight. And, of course, thanks to our great sponsors here on CRMLiveSports.com. For Nate Sanderson, Scott Udash saying so long. Final score, the Xavier Saints in triple overtime. It's Xavier going to the final, trying to win their 5th. Coming up on Saturday afternoon, Xavier 55 and Dallas Center Grimes 50. You've been listening to State Tournament Basketball from Des Moines here on CRM Live Sports. Good night from Des Moines.